just want a bag, like an old lady. I'm backwoods smoking, I don't own papers, pass that 808. That shit a dome shaker. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater. Baby mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed, I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking that galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up, well fuck it, I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat, while I fuck up I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a dick, but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Section at 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch out a bit, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my put and put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a pussy, your panties get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fuck shit. Young and trapping out the bando, from the ceiling fan to the damn floor, tryna stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay, see the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Take it up. Let me these bitches.
Welcome to the GRG podcast, where you get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Live Wires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Ops 100, live, and your host K Mega 405. The GRG podcast
starts right now.
Yo, why can't make it sound like
and it's 100?
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. The GRG podcast is here. It's Friday. You know when it's on Friday. You know what it is. What are we doing? 108 Dragons. What we do on Fridays?
oh, pork.
We do GRG.
Man, but you're supposed to say we do it live, man. Come on, man. Can I get some? Bloody Knuckles. It's Friday. You know what's going on. What happened? What we doing on Friday? What we do?
We doing it live.
Thank you. Because I was going to go through everybody
That's not
until
what
I
he
got
wanted
it
to
right.
say. We wearing spiked t-shirts. Facts.
Whoa. All right. Anyway.
Sorry, Bloody.
Welcome, everybody. Looks like everything is going good, man. All right, great. What's going on, everyone? The GRG podcast is here. We doing the damn thing. I do want to give a big thank you to everybody on Twitch. So far, thank you for the support. You know what I'm saying? Please don't stop it, man. I just became affiliate last night. I really do appreciate it, man.
I didn't make you affiliate before me. They don't even know.
How you even become affiliate with no people following you?
I mean, bro, I got people following me, man. I got support, and I'm an affiliate. I mean, it says it right under my name.
Was
Well,
108
Yeah, y'all. In the chat, y'all know K Mega know somebody.
No, damn, that's disrespectful.
I'm
Man, thank
saying,
you, man.
like,
Hey, man, I've been really grinding
K-Mega?
too, man. I've really been doing it, man. So I've been grinding, man. I did
Man.
a bloody, man. I
I'm
pulled an
going on Twitch to say fuck Twitch.
8 hour. Then I went back yesterday and did about a 6 hour stream,
Oh
man.
man,
I'm
that's
doing
what's
it,
up.
man. I
Well,
did it.
Yo,
Super chat already. Before we even get to the intro, super chat.
Let's get to it. Let me look at that super chat. I got so many buttons to click.
Get
and
ready
touch.
to leave work. Have a great show.
You gotta say his name. 100.
You gotta say
I
his name, man.
I said from Sir X-Men. Damn, can I get it out?
Yeah, he been
$2 super chat.
Thank you.
I
Thank you, sir.
I said, great show. I said, get ready to leave work. Have a great show from Sir X-Men. $2 check.
All right.
That's what I said. Damn.
Well, thank you, Sir X, man. I appreciate it. Yes, as promised, I will play golf with you guys Sunday, early Sunday. So I will do
we're
that.
doing golf. We're doing golf with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, I played Fortnite for the very first
We're
time.
not playing no damn golf.
No, not
with
golf
friends.
with friends. It's Golf 2019. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Get that shit out of
The
here.
official one.
Yeah. So anyway, but shout out to them. Xbot came in to fight night. You know, he got his head beat in pretty well. Don threw some jokes. It was pretty damn funny. At Bot, and it was good, man. Bot was over there getting down until he got to our girl Vamp, and it was all she wrote, and she was just holding it down. But big shout out to that. So you guys check us out on Twitch and Mixer, because I still will be streaming on both of those for Sunday Night Fights, or Fight Night Sunday, I should call it, and then we'll get that going and popping. But anyway, man, let's go and get to the bums. You know what I'm saying? This man right here, he wasn't here last week, man, but you know, he has to talk about some Nintendo stuff, you know, EVO. He's all about that life. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with your PK? How you been, brother?
Hey, happy Friday, friends and family. Just glad to be back and glad to be among my brothers and happy to get into these topics. Let's go.
Let's go. And the man with the 1,000. This man's legit. He don't quit. He stops hard. Maybe he knows somebody, because he got to 1,000 pretty quick. I don't know, but he got there. So, man, congratulations, brother, man. I'm very happy, man. Proud of you, the hard work that you're doing. And then, of course, you'll finally bring the Cubs Den in whenever that you think so, or Puff the Magic Dragons Den. I can't remember what that podcast was called, but whenever you bring it, man, I will definitely be there to support it. So what's up with you, 108 Dragons?
Yes. Appreciate everybody for helping reach that 1K, man. And I'm not moving today, so I'm on GRG at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time like I'm supposed to. Can't wait to get into these damn topics. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, moving on down the line, man. Our boy Op yesterday, man, he was in protest. He said, Mega, if you're not talking about chocolate ice cream and about Breyers making chocolate ice cream, then I'm not coming on to the show. I said, bro, how old are you? He says, don't worry about that. I said, you're right. I don't even know your nationality. So what's up with you? Op, you back? You know what I'm saying? We'll get to I'm talking about the ice cream. So, man, you got it. You won, man. You the man. What's up with you, Op?
Can we talk about how that bit made absolutely no sense and no damn tie into the joke? Like, come on, bro. You got to do better, bro.
It makes more sense than pulled pork, baby.
Like, bro, where's the punchline? Where's the flow on that shit? Damn, man. Been 3 weeks. Give me a week shit, man.
And that's what happens when you have the lawyer on the show.
Did our boy lose his virginity or something? Because, I mean, he's getting a little raspy. I mean, what's going on? I mean, what happened? That's the punchline. Okay, anyway. All right, what's going on with you, Op, man? What's happening with you, brother?
No, I've been busy lately, bro. Started working and whatnot. Just haven't been getting much outside trying to get through Metro again. Try to get the good ending on that. And a little bit of Gears 5. Just trying to think. A little bit of Halo 5 every now and then when I can. But other than that, I've just been chilling.
Nice. And see, somebody got the joke, because Sleepy Goblin said, he says, Op is on that Belgian ice cream. Now, what? Okay.
I mean, one other person, good for you, but still.
All right.
It still stands.
Whatever. As long as it affects one person, that's all that matters to me. One person. That's all I need. Anyway. All right, man. Getting on to my main man, Bloody Knuckles. What's going on with you, man? You wasn't here last week either. You know what I'm saying? You was looking for a certain type of nail polish, but they didn't have it. You said you couldn't make the show until you got it. So I guess you here with the Satan rings. What's up with you, bro? Now I know that's another joke, but
the only thing that's a joke is the fact that you be thinking he's funny right now. Right? I say that's the only thing that's funny right now is that Megan thinks he's funny.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Come on, man.
But it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I was like, it's been good always to get back with the family here, to be able to talk with everything that we got going on. We got some great topics. You know, I've been out here grinding. I was like, everything that sucked last week. I know everyone wanted me there talking about the mixer stuff. It sucks, but you know what? I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep grinding. I was like, I'm over on Twitch now. Outside of that, yeah, I got my perfect nail polish, and that's why I was at the gun range showing people how to shoot for the fact that I'm a good shot. So don't fuck with me. I was like, I carry.
I got you. Okay, man. You know what I'm saying? A dude with nail polish that got a gun is dangerous. I don't care who they are. So, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, let me move on.
I'll move on the table.
All right, let me move on to Click Slayer. I'm not going to say anything because obviously my jokes are not falling. They're falling like a brick. So anyway, what's going on with you, Slayer? What's happening with you, brother?
Well, unlike the rest of these folks over here, I will congratulate you on your achievement there with Twitch. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So back to your question. Man, today's been the oddest of days. We had the crazy pre-show, but all week, you know, I just been experimenting with this Final Fantasy 11 server that you can run on your own PC and then play the game yourself. And I was feeling like that, you know, all week, and you know, and basically, you know, playing God in the game, you know, having fun. That's what the games are supposed to be about, right? Old or new. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Nice, excellent. All right, cool. Thank you, Infernal Lock, man. He said, "What up, my boys? What's up with you, bro? Man, glad that you're here, man, for the support. Definitely, man. Appreciate that." And then we got 100, man. We full tonight, man. We got 100 here, man. What's going on with you, bro? Hey, man, you was being peacekeeper yesterday on your podcast, man. I have to give you a lot of props for that, man, because the old 100, you would have let that roll on, man.
Yeah, but I'm finna turn on 100.
No, you're not.
No,
I'm about to turn on
not
100.
here. You know what you about to do is be ejected.
Don't congratulate him because he got some damn partnership. We all supposed to be going. We here together, G.
Like that, bro.
We here together, G. We have to get all the partnerships on Twitch.
I mean, well, you need to stream.
Twitch.
No,
I've been around.
I've been asking you to play. I've been asking you to play. Bro, I've been asking you to come and play me in Madden.
Don't take it serious.
You ducking me.
I'm playing around. Don't take it serious. You know, y'all know I like the route of the stable. You said, damn, can I route of the stable?
You're fine. I'm just
but you know what? You still ain't shit.
Oh, it's like that now? Okay.
Wow. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Hey.
See, that was a good joke.
Hey. Welcome to get baptized. You know what I'm saying? But no, shout out to everybody. I want to be not I'll tell you now, kind of skip me on certain stuff. I am cooking for the 4th and stuff like that. So if I'm muted and if I don't say nothing, don't cuss me out like you usually do.
And fuck you, don't blow up nothing.
And Dog said, fuck you, don't blow up nothing.
Oh, man, here we go. Dogs in the back.
Don't burn down nobody's shit.
Fire on him, cuz. Fire on him, blood.
Whoa.
But no, I will mute myself. But no, I'm here. But you know what I'm saying?
All right.
And we're going to have a great show.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great show, and it might be a sneak in for Dog in the Bone show. I mean, when y'all gonna do?
Dog only there because you cooking. As soon as he eat, he leaving.
He probably will, or go to sleep.
Hey, Megan.
What up?
Don't forget, we got a special announcement to make because there's a special thing going on this weekend too. That project we've had working in the past couple months.
Yes, that is absolutely true. I will definitely bring that up. I'll bring it up. I brought it up again. It's also in Twitch and on Mixer where people can see it. I know people can't see it on YouTube, but I'll definitely bring that up as well. But last but not least, man, the Dolphin King himself is here. His mic is muted, but I don't know. I'm going to still call him out anyway. And then there's a number of us that can impersonate him. So what we're just going to say, what's going on with you, Live Wire? What's happening?
Yeah. So, here to get into these topics. Just yeah, shit going on. Things going well crazy. You know how it goes. All right, cool.
Wow.
Thank you, Livewire. I really appreciate that, man. You kept it clean and toned down. You did a fantastic job. Thank you. I know this is what this show is going to be tonight. This is going to be wild. Yeah. So anyway, what's going on with your agent? All right. And so before we get into the first topic, I do want to say this. I mean, Bloody is right. Me and Bloody and the rest of the team, we have been working on something to give out to the people. We have merch. We have GRG merch.
Oh, there we go.
If you look into the description, you will see on YouTube. You will see right there that there is the GRG merch. Man, go check it out. The hot item right now seems to be the white and gold GRG shirt. We got fitted hats. We got flex hats. We got bags. We got hoodies. And the more that you guys support us, the more that we can add more things. Since people have been asking about a different color palette, different things like that. So if you guys, the more you support us, this stuff goes and works for us to get into GRG. And also for giveaways, you know what I'm saying? So this money ain't just going into to just my pockets or anything like that. This is for the whole crew. So unless somebody has got a bill or something to pay, I guess. I mean, we'll just have to see. But I don't know. Or maybe 100 with his juicy chicken over there that he was showing on YouTube. Maybe he might need a new smoker. Who knows? But regardless, this is for the family. So please support us, man, and go ahead and get those shirts. Yeah, it's or whatever, man. We definitely would appreciate it, man. It's been long overdue, man. And I really do thank you guys in advance. So thank you very much. Sir X Man, thank you for the oh bloody hold on for a second. He said K Mega, he says this is for cupcakes for Sunday's golf. So you better have him cakes, bro. Okay. I don't know
makes
what
no
that
sense.
means. I don't know. That's cool. That's
First
cool,
of all, we should have been deleting that because that sounds weird.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe he
that
was in
was
a hurry.
little different, X-Man,
Maybe he was in a
but
little hurry.
I'm gonna give you a pass because we know who you are. But you try that again, you're gonna be blocky.
This is for cupcakes for Sunday golf. So you better have him cakes, bro. Lord have mercy. Okay, I read it over again, and that's what it said. So anyway, what was you gonna say, Bloody?
He better go back to read it from that book instead.
I would say for all the people who are checking out the merch for what we got, I was like, they want to make sure that they definitely take advantage of it this weekend because they are doing a 4th of July sale. So if you want to get 20% off their order, they go to the store and use 4th of July. I would say they'll get 20% off the order. So we definitely want everyone to make sure that they out there stunting in that nice GRG gear that we got for them.
No doubt. You know what? I forget that you are our publicist. You are the one that can sell the merch better than me. I'm too monotone. You got that hypeness. I got a bit of. So okay, so
you know who was stunting around in that white gold. You know your boy over here always representing that.
No doubt. And I still got to get a shirt out to everyone here. I'm gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? But when the brothers over here sitting over here, man, doing my thing, man, I'll get it there. Just give me time. I got it. But anyway, Sir X Man again, he says, y'all know my favorite dessert is cupcakes. Yes, is that the outfit that you were wearing when you're playing golf? Is that what that's on them shirts? Because you look like you came from a Shaft episode from the 70s in that outfit.
Oh shit.
He does. He looks terrible. But anyway.
That's cold-blooded.
All right. So anyway, let's get to the very first topic, man. Let's get this knocked out. Livewire, Bloody already impersonated you, so you already gave your thing. So I'll go to you first when it comes to the very first topic, which we're going into, which right now is my boy Locke. And we're not going to be too long on it because there's not enough information, but I do want to talk about it. Basically, it was about we already found out about the Banish is going to be coming into Halo Infinite. Well, then there's a Lego lineup of toys that just got introduced this week as well. It caused a little bit of speculation because one of the big brutes, Lieutenant Brutes, I forgot the actual name of that brute.
Hyperius.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hyperius. Yes, he has something that's on his shoulder that looks like a helmet, and the helmet looks like Spartan Locke's helmet. It looked identical to Spartan Locke's helmet. So right off the bat, there were the ones that the so-called claimers of loving Halo lore, come out and automatically brings up the fact that Locke is dead, and this is the trophy. Obviously, he had to take his head off to take his trophy. I mean, to have his helmet as a trophy, and so it brings up a whole bunch of speculation, which it does exactly looks like the trophy. I mean, not the trophy, but the helmet. The fact is now somebody from Halo came back from 343 and they said, look, it says this stuff that comes out is basically not doesn't represent what's going to go on into the story. And then they took it down. It still gives a lot of speculation. I'll give my thoughts at the end, but I want to go to you first, Livewire. If I don't know if you paid attention to it, if you've seen it yet, but did you? But what did you think? I mean, do you think that this is basically telling us that in Halo Infinite that Locke or potentially Team Osiris could be wiped out?
It's hard to say, man. Because that helmet, it looks like it could be Locke's helmet, but I think it's some other instances I've seen the little minions with helmets like that too, like kind of like that similar, like that snout type. So it might be one of them too. Like it wasn't like I mean, it's a toy, so it's not like an actual picture. So you're not gonna, the accuracy of what we're looking at ain't gonna be like that. So hey, it may be, or maybe they just have multiple renditions of it. You know what I mean? But like the brute. Well, go put your underwear on. What you talking about? Go ahead. Go that way.
Shout out to Daddy Daycare on a full effect. Let's go.
Okay, go put your underwear on. Yeah, so anyway.
Kids, man. What can you do?
Yeah. But I mean, the brute I was looking at, he didn't look I don't know, he didn't look special enough to be able to take out Locke. Maybe it's just me. Like he didn't look like that dude. Like those dudes like Atriox and the brothers, like their gear was like top flight gear. He looked like he was wearing some regular old shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if I could believe that he actually took out Locke.
All right, cool. Now let me go ahead and get to PK, so we can go ahead and knock that part out. Because PK didn't really want to talk about this topic. So what do you think, PK? Did you even pay attention to this? Now, I mean, and what do you think? I mean, do you think that there might be a tie-in because there was so much publicity behind it? I mean, what do you think overall?
There's not much to go on. I mean, they do this kind of thing all the time. Legos do. So there's always some form. I mean, I don't know if you collect toys or not, but they always have some sort of alt to just push a toy line down, and that's all I can take from it at the moment until there's more information, unless it actually does. So it's kind of just speculation at the moment.
Okay, all right. Short and sweet. Thank you. All right, Op. What is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, I know that you wanted to talk about this. What I know when we first seen it, I was kind of like, you gotta be kidding me. And then now we got the report from somebody from 343 basically not debunking it, but basically saying, look, don't take it to heart that this is actually going to
don't
be
read
something
into it literally.
Until we actually give some confirmation. So what is your thoughts, man?
Well, of course, at the end of the day, this can go either way. Either he's alive or dead. We won't know until the game comes out. But I thought it was pretty funny how quickly how ecstatic community was, and the fact that a major character died off in the next game. When as far as they never cared as much or wanted somebody dead this badly in the game prior. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But me personally, it could possibly confirm that maybe Bruce are playable characters in the game, and they're customizable aware as well.
Hey, Bloody.
Atriox right now,
hold on
part of the armor is made from ODST armor as well, from the ones he killed.
Okay,
you incorporate into his armor, so maybe that's a mechanic you can use in the game to customize your brute character in multiplayer or whatnot. But that's just my speculation. It probably won't come true, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's what I think of the situation.
Okay, all right. I didn't really get to hear everything that you had to say because Bloody's background was a little loud.
Just some
it was a
soap
little
opera.
loud.
Put the rent on the card.
Yeah.
Pay the lights tomorrow.
Wow. Anyway, so he just had it all out there. Anyway, so go ahead and repeat a little bit of the again. I'm sorry, because I didn't get to hear everything that you said.
Oh, so what's the last part that you remember hearing?
The part where you said it was speculation.
Oh, damn.
Bloody background was loud, son. I heard what you said.
He was saying that it looks like Blue might.
No, not you. Let him talk for himself.
Thank you. Well, pretty much, I think that, it's funny that the Halo community wanted a character dead this badly when, as far as I can call it, they never want someone dead this badly in games prior at this point. Like, not even Prophets. Like, I thought that was weird, but that's just my 2 cents on that. But I think that maybe this toy could possibly confirm the fact that Bruce might be playable character in the game, and they might be customizable as well. Because if you remember now, Aatrox, part of his armor is made from ODST armor as well, from the ones that he killed. So maybe in the game, you can play as a Brute in multiplayer and customize your armor with Spartan parts. Well, Spartan armor. Molding your armor parts as well, maybe. But this is my speculation right now. That's what I think could happen.
But can make a quick question.
Yeah.
Story-wise, what would be the benefit of killing Locke? You haven't even played with him long enough to even have a real emotion about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even with
going correct the errors that people didn't like in Halo 5, quote error. The stuff that people didn't like in Halo 5. Because remember, in Halo 5, they immediately killed off Joel Madonna in the beginning because people did not like him in Halo 4 and Spartan Ops.
Yeah, but I mean,
we got to get to these super chats too before they get too deep.
To me, to have an actual effect, like you mean, you know what I mean? Like he's not a character that was big like that. It's not like he was Joel in The Last of Us. That's not who he was. You know what I mean? So you're not going to get the same emotion. So I don't see the point of doing it.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be different if you play as him again this game, and then next game they do that. Then all right, I guess it it would be something that makes more sense. But you just met the dude, and you're like, oh, he got. You're like, oh damn.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be it's not Dom. Like it's not the same thing.
Right. Hold on.
It's not the same impact.
Let me get to these guys. All right. Thank you, Core, so much for the subscription on Twitch. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you. And then Sir X-Man, he says, I'm glad my golf buddy Lemon is okay. See? While you was over here being mean to him, he's over here saying he's glad that
I text you back. He trying to throw a shot at me. I text you back, bro. Pay your cell phone bill. I text you back. Well, go ahead. Move to the next one. This one is different.
All right. And then, man, appreciate it, man. The Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell. Thank you so much. He says, I'm sorry for your loss, K-Mega. Man, look, bro, there's still hope. It's not all chitons. There's still a lot of things. We just don't know. I understand that there's a lot of people, especially when I was listening to Halo Follower, that they were just excited. They already thought that this was going to be a reboot and everything was going to be new. There was people that I had to block people I only blocked like 2 people since I've ever had Twitter, and it was because of some crazy stuff. One guy made the PlayStation 5, the towers. The Twin Towers with a plane, doing the 9/11 thing. That person had to be blocked.
Gotta go.
That was disgusting. Facts. Then there was another person that I blocked that was trying to act like Colt Eastwood, and I got confused, and I answered him one time because he hit me up with something, and I thought it was Colt. Then I looked and I said, oh, that's that imposter. Okay, and then I blocked him. But this guy, he's an habitual line stepper, and he's racist as hell. Like he tries, he's an Xbox dude too. He tries to be cute with it. But then when you come at me and you try to act like, well, the reason why you don't like Locke is because of whatever reason, is this and that, it's fraudulent. We already know what you are. So he had to get the boot. He had to get that ejecto seat because I couldn't stand it. Like, bro, come on, man. Stop being like that. I don't do that to you. I don't do that to anybody else. If it's true, yeah, I'll be pissed about it. But there is no need for somebody to try to throw that type of shade, and especially when you know that I love Halo and the character of Locke like that. Like I would never do that to anybody else. Just like if you look at the stuff at The Last of Us, I think it's garbage. But go ahead, Live. Go ahead and say finish up what you have to say. I'm sorry.
Nah, that was me.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, let me go to Well, Op, did you get finished with what you were saying? Because I know.
Oh yeah, I finished my point. I'm
Okay.
good now.
All right. So let me go to 108 on this. What is your thoughts, man? I mean, I know that Livewire brought up some really good points. Man, I mean, I don't know if you are into Halo as much as I am.
Are you crazy?
Well, no, I asked you a question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you mad? You're a Halo
Yo,
baby.
you don't. Yeah.
Yo, you're bugging.
Right?
You need to retract that statement. I'm appalled.
Are you mad?
Bro,
Are you mad right now? He got
yeah, he's. Are you mad?
As much as you.
Hey, but bro,
Wow.
he sit there and what he did is he grabbed his glove and slapped me backwards with it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm like, damn, bro, like
that is my favorite game.
Okay, I didn't
Not
know.
Call of Duty. It's
Okay.
Halo.
Well, that's I'll see you play. It's called. I
Yo,
know
he
you love
turned
the
into Bill
punching
Duke.
stuff.
You know, yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Okay, so
You
let me
almost
hear your thoughts
assassinated
about
my gamer tag.
this, so let me hear
Oh,
this,
man.
What's your thoughts, brother?
I don't have no thoughts. It's a toy.
Okay.
I have nothing, it's just the character, and the helmet resembles Locke, but it ain't no damn Locke helmet. It's just a Spartan helmet. That's all it is. I don't read nothing into it. Because half of these, if it ain't no Avengers movie with toys coming out, we know it don't really mean nothing. That's the only movie or something that has something to do with something, and they brought out a toy and it reflected what was in the situation. Otherwise, it's just a toy. He got a Spartan helmet. They're going to do a Locke. Locke ain't going. Well, I don't know if they're bringing him back, but I know they ain't going to do. They ain't going to treat him like no half-wit superhero either, because he was a good character. The actor himself is a good actor, and he did a good job in Halo 5. Whether you like the story or not, you can't say it was bad acting and you getting appealed to the character, because the character was dope. Now, the story you may not like, but they're not going to do him like that. They're not just going to kill him in the second one. He ain't got no longevity. If anything, they would make you feel something for him and then take him out. But why taking him out? Plus, people like to run with stuff. That looks like Locke. Helmet. Yeah, this is what's going to happen in Halo. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I hear you.
It's
All
always
right.
something.
It
Conspiracy
is.
theory
It
people.
is. And boy, they jumped on, man. Them dudes over there,
man,
they went. Them people
goddamn
over there
Lego
went
toy. Lego
wild.
ain't got nothing to do with
went
anything.
Wild. They went wild. But all right, man. Let me go to Slayer. Oh, before I go to Slayer, let me go ahead and give a big shout out to my boy Henosis. What's going on with you, man? Thank you so much. Hold on here. Let me look at that again.
Yeah, we're gonna let you host. I'm gonna start stealing some of these things so you can stay forward with these questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
He said Nightfall and Forward of Dawn are cool. The TV show is next year, I think. Yes, it's on Showtime, and it's supposed to be pretty epic. So if it's even in the same lines of what The Witcher is, or even The Mandalorian, it's going to be fantastic, man. It's going to be fantastic. What up?
Shout out to my boy Sir X, man. I'm not gonna repeat what you text me. But it's crazy. Yeah, he crazy. Why you just didn't put it in super chat?
Yeah, just put it in the super chat. Let us know what you.
Let us know how you really feel.
Yeah, let us know how you really feel. So I think he was coming at me because I like cupcakes. I think that's what he was saying.
No. He came at me because of my comment about his last text. But
okay. Because we said cupcakes. Yeah,
put it in super chat. I'll say it for you. Don't worry about it, Sir X, man. Show the world what you think of lemon.
Oh wow, that's disrespectful. Anyway.
Hey, K Mega, at least they're not strawberry cupcakes.
Oh,
you're right. Bug snacks. Anyway, so all right, Claire. What do you think about this?
Snacks.
What do you think about this, man?
So, man, we already discussed how the toy manufacturer said not to, read too much into this and all of that. So we're not gonna even get into it that angle. Like I spoke to you earlier about, I see a different angle on this, and this reminds me much of the Banish angle. Was that last week or the week before when we got that trailer with the audio clip? Mm-hmm. And back then I mentioned that there was a bit of a debate in the Halo community about, if they should introduce the Banish into the FPS games, into the mainline series, from the RTS series in Halo Wars. So, and then, just at the peak of that argument, that trailer dropped and it deaded all the argument between both sides. Nobody's beefing anymore between that because it's been resolved. Like, as an answer, yeah, the Banisher in the game, end of story, end of debate. And I feel like a similar thing happened with this, where there was beef within the Halo community about if Locke is really needed and all this other stuff, and it really also connects into the whole like there's like two minds of like the direction Halo needs to go, if it needs to stay more classic or go in its own direction more modern and trying new things and here and there and seeing what works. And I really feel like this is like more of the same thing, even though we've gotten an answer that should be the end of it, but it's not fully, I feel, in comparison to the Banished thing where that argument is done. This doesn't feel as definitive, but other than that, yeah, it's just more drama and bullshit. It's really not that serious, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I mean, until we know more, I do look at it from a standpoint like everybody else on the panel, is that, look, we need more information. When you first saw it and when you had people to kind of gravitate to it and then try to force the narrative that this is what it is, it was disappointing, because what it reminds me of is The Last of Us 2 and how disappointing that was. And see, this is the thing about, and Bloody, I'm going to get to you last, because I know that you, I don't know if you're done talking with the people in your house or whatever, but the one thing that trips me out is that it reminds me so much of The Last of Us 2, how divisive that story is, and how so many people are left with, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? You kind of forced me this direction and not letting me get a little bit of understanding of the characters that you did present to me. So to me, it's like you brought in Team Osiris, and then all of a sudden, then you take out if this is true, and you take out the leader without even really giving a true background behind it, then you're not doing any better. And even though Locke is not in the same level as Joel or Ellie, it's still, to me, there's a lot of people that actually played the game that said, look, I hated the story, but I like Team Osiris. I want to know more about them. So I hope that they don't try to make that as a dramatic drop to just kind of give filler to those that really don't give a damn about Halo 5 whatsoever. Because what I read in the comments on a lot of stuff, on the stuff with the toy, and on from people that were saying stuff in Halo Follower and stuff like that, there were people that were so upset about how the Reclaimer situation wasn't tied in to the Halo 5 story that they only played part of Halo 5 and never played the multiplayer. All you got to do is look in those comments yourself. There were people that said that, or they boycotted Halo 5 just because of those reasons. And me and Don can tell you, at any time that we play Halo 5, because we're trying to get to 152, there's always people that comes on when we're streaming it, and they're saying, what game is this? Which Halo is this? It's Halo 5. Oh, man, I didn't know it looked this good. I never played it. I'm a Halo fan. How are you a Halo fan and you never played? I mean, I'm going to play every Halo just because I played Striker.
Frauds.
I played Striker and Assault. Those are not really good Halo games, but I still played them. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to beat them, but I mean, damn, as long as you play them, if you're a Halo fan, I just don't understand it. So, Bloody, if you're done, you can go ahead and finish up on this topic so we can move on. Okay, so he's still talking.
I mean,
oh, okay.
What I was going to say is, like, we've seen this with plenty of other franchises, is that there's always merchandise lines, there's always something, and they always promote it when a new game's coming out. So these are going to be their Halo Infinite toy lines. But like with other games and stuff out there, not everything is going to have a direct tie-in. Everyone wants to analyze every little bit, especially when we know nothing. So I think it's a case of everyone's looking too much into it. I mean, this is kind of what happened earlier this year with some of the leaked toy footage and stuff like that. And then when we were talking about like the Nerf guns, right? When we were looking at those, breaking down, oh, they're going to go with this design for this gun, or they're going to go bring this one back or stuff like that. We don't know because we haven't seen any of those guns in any actual gameplay or anything. We're not going to know until the end of the month. I think right now with the story and as many rumors as we've heard and what's been told, the only thing that we know for a fact is what we got told last year at E3, or that you got told last year at E3 talking with some of the team from 343, especially Kiki.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's as much of a confirmation that we have, and that's more than the rest of the general public.
So I think people and looking too much into this is
Basically what this is with the toys. Like I said, they do a tie-in, but it's never directly inspired by it. It's just something to get people talking, especially when a new game's coming out. Because I mean, look at how many toy lines that they have. I mean, even with like Gears, there was stuff that they had for Gears 4, and then they had a new series that was Gears 5, and people talked about some of the figurines that were coming out from that, but not all of it's directly what's going on in the game. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a perfect point too. And then there was somebody in the chat that brought up this, and this could be one of those things that it absolutely makes sense as well. It's Phantom Kraken. He said, "What about all teams? Majestic, Red, Osiris, and Spartan team die in battle, and Locke happens to be in the battle and fall like the other Spartans." Look, I thought about that too. I thought about the scenario today. While I was going around just saying that I wanted to make it a topic to talk about, it's a possibility, and maybe Locke could be the first casualty of it. I would kind of hate that scenario as like the black guy's the first one to die, like it's Friday the 13th or some shit. But I mean,
that's just following any horror trope. We don't want Locke to be the first one to die.
Right. No, I don't. But I mean, it's a possibility that could happen, and it also could be where this lieutenant is really badass, and it also gives gives an indication of how serious the Banish is. I can't stress enough of how serious the Banish is. More serious than the Covenant. It's more serious than anything else out there. Maybe the Flood is the only thing that might be on the same level because of how the Flood can adapt and take over things, take over other entities. But
they're the Borg of
yeah.
Halo.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
You
The Flood
mentioned
is the
that, but
Borg.
I mean, think about this, right?
especially just so people to understand
Right.
that in all the 1,000 years of the Covenant, no
Society has been able to outstand the Covenant. Humanity was barely able to, and we were going toe to toe with them, but even humanity was having trouble. The Banished completely overpowered the Covenant and even took back installations from the Covenant. That should show just how serious of a threat the Banished are.
Right. And so if it does that, and then it comes down to be where I've always predicted that this is the last saga for Master Chief, and then Chief is kind of like all alone once every team has done everything that they possibly do to help fight, and then Chief finishes off this saga by taking out by everything is taken out, and it's a new era for Halo. Then I'm all cool for that. I can accept that. I'm not gonna take it and say, oh no, Locke and Team Osiris should still be around. No, I will accept that. The one thing I just can't accept is that you bring in a brand new team, but you keep red team, you keep blue team, and then there's another team, of course, with Oni. I mean, it's what 100 was still in here that he could talk a little bit about it. Where there's a shadow Spartan team around. Like like I said, the Halo universe is really huge, and it can separate so much. But I just would hate the fact that the first casualties would be anything from Team Osiris when you have this. And I mean, I'm just going to be real about it. I mean, the universe shouldn't be just all white men. You see what I'm saying? Like Red Team. I love Jerome. I think Jerome is kick ass. I actually have Jerome right there with Locke on some of my favorite, and Isabel and some of my favorite characters. But
are they going to get rid of Locke to make room for Jerome?
See,
I like the Locke character for one reason.
And that pissed me off. That would piss me off.
Because he was Luke Cage. That's it.
Oh, really? Well, I like if there comes to be where there's some kind of
he didn't have enough story in Halo 5. He really didn't.
No, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like
you love him?
Nah. I do.
I liked him.
Well, think about this, and this is something that we talked about before. and this is something we talked about before, is that they didn't give Locke a lot of fleshed out in the game, right? But if you watched all the
Nightfall,
movies and the
good
shorts
stuff. Yeah.
going into it, they really gave Locke a lot
Right.
more
Yeah, because he's
understanding.
a
But
big actor, whatever. I get that.
Well,
But I'm saying
no,
in the
no,
game, he's
no,
not.
it's not.
I
It's
didn't
not. It's not even
love
that.
him.
No, no, no,
It's
no,
not
no.
about
It's
the
not.
act.
It's
It's not
not
about
even
the
that.
okay.
It's the fact of that they really brought out more of the character to give you a lot more understanding of who he was going into 5. But the thing is, when they do a lot of those things, it's really the hardcore who are going to go out and watch some of those, and maybe the occasional fan will be like, "Oh, cool! Look, a Halo series. I'm going to go watch that." But the rest of the casuals and not the diehard Halo fans aren't going to pay attention to those. That's what really kind of did him a disservice, as well as that they didn't put all of it in the game. That's what I was trying to say.
Right. No, and I totally agree with that. Like, it's to me, it's like you have to broaden the universe in order for Halo to be the to be Halo to what it needs to be. You start killing off everybody, then you better have some replacements. And if the replacements all still look the same, then that's why I got a problem with it if this is true. Because I'm like, you had Johnson. Johnson's dead. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, well, okay, so who's left? Who's left?
Right.
So you
They
bring
can't
in,
be killing off these characters so
yeah,
quick,
yeah,
though.
you
'Cause
can't
then you
keep
gotta always, every game, you gotta establish somebody's foundation. They're
right,
not
right.
just gonna be killing people off. It doesn't make sense.
Well, no, it makes sense if you, because I've been saying that Halo it's fine for Halo to have a darker tone to it because of how the banish is, but the fact that to me is that if you kill off Team Osiris, then you have to kill off everyone else, and if you don't, and then you progress them to the next game, then to me that's kind of like that's just whitewashing away the whole thing of Halo 5 just because of a group that keeps on crying and that don't even want a run button or don't even want any type of
But they're the
dodge or
minority.
boots
They're
packs.
not
Yeah,
the
like
majority.
that's
They're the
garbage to me.
minority.
Yeah,
You always got the
garbage.
minority people always with the biggest voice on no matter the platform, no matter the game, the ones that's whining. Oh, I want Halo 2 controls. No, you do not.
Issue, like
Not in 2020.
who's supposed to help?
They're outdated.
They kill off Team Osiris. Know what I mean, especially Locke. Like, I like Buck as a character because he's funny, but
Right.
he's not somebody I consider a skilled Spartan.
Or a leader. Like Buck is
Yeah,
not
right,
a leader.
He's not nobody that you would even consider taking chief spot. You see what I'm saying? So
but that's the thing is that they've kind of established that Buck, he's never had the drive to want to be a leader. He's always been more.
That's not who
he's always been he's a big support character, right? But he's also been a. But you also got to think that Buck has also had a lot of fleshing out because of the fact that we saw him first back in ODST, and then we saw more about him in the books, and then of course that we learned the story of how he became one of the first people in a while to go into the Spartan treatment, and then we saw him with Team Osiris. We know he's not going to be a main character or anything like that, but he's still going to be a very big support.
And he's a popular
he would be a better candidate for somebody to get taken.
Yeah, we got 2 super chats we got to get to, fellas.
Because he's
I
a supporting character that doesn't really, you know what I mean? He doesn't, combat wise, he's not on the level of Locke. Like, he's not even close. So
Locke is the truth. Locke gotta. They could really do a lot of things with Locke.
Yeah. So my thing is like, you know, as of what we seen, like, and let's say they're on blue team, you know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know that much about red team. I hear they're thorough for the most part, but you know what I mean? Locke is that dude.
Yes.
But he just ain't got, you know, he ain't got.
He's
the
not
story.
chief. He's not chief, and he don't have a story. Right? I get that.
Yeah, he
like,
ain't got
no,
he ain't got enough
nobody's
story
chief.
like that.
Chief is the man.
Right, you don't
like,
have to be chief to
he
be
don't
an
have-
asset, though.
Right, and that's the thing to me. It's like the one thing. And let me go ahead and read the super chats.
Got 2 of them.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thank you, friendly neighborhood blue shell. He said, if Locke truly dies, I hope he puts up a Noble Six style fight. I don't think that they'll just like let him just get hit one time with the hammer from the lieutenant and then that's it. Like, I think that he would give it his all. I think that they would give him some kind of representation. And then Emmanuel, man, he says, thanks for demanding black representation in games, K Mega. Bro, this means more to me than anything when it comes to and it's not just about black, it's about just people of color and women strong
because I mean that's why I like
protagonist.
that team was very diverse.
Right, the team, yeah, like
you had an Asian girl in there, so has Hispanic. I forget which one was Hispanic.
Was it Vale? I think it was Vale.
She had the baddest suit though. To me, her suit was better than Locke's suit.
Oh yeah, the red, yeah. There was Vale, the Tanaka, Buck, and Locke. Like they were so diverse. Like why would you kill that? And especially when you throwing out Black Lives Matter and all this other shit. No, don't do that. Don't kill them off. Yeah. Like oh no, Locke's ass don't matter. We got to get him out of here. So that's the thing to me is more in a sense is it's not that I'm trying to be on this quote unquote woke stuff. It's more the fact of listen, I've been playing as white protagonist, males, and I haven't had a problem with it. But when you throw a person that looks like me into one of the legacy games and and the story might not be as good for a lot of people, but you just don't give up on that character just because there's this few that just want Halo to be just one or two people, and then everybody they hate Palmer, they hate the Arbiter, they hate
the Arbiter. That was the example I wanted to give. I mean, same thing happened in Halo 2 and Halo 3, and people seem to forget that lesson was already learned, over a decade ago.
But it's not really a lesson. People didn't want to play at the Arbiter, and when they didn't bring him back, you had the same people crying.
Exactly my point.
They confused when they played Master Chief, and then you played the Arbiter. You like, but we don't want to play as the Arbiter. Before the game came out, we don't want to play that. Then they played it and said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna change it up. We're gonna go away from that." No, but we had fun with it. This is why you can't listen to the clown.
Exactly.
You can't listen to the clown. This is ridiculous. It's just sometimes you just be like, just shut up and play the game.
Right, like
please.
I mean, you just gotta if anything that was go ahead.
What I was trying to say is that they make a good point because of the fact that even when people complain too much and stuff like that, it does have a tendency to affect those who are kind of helping oversee the story and stuff like that. We see this not just within the Halo community. Look at how bad it was for the Gears community. Look at how many people didn't like 4 and 5 because everyone's just like, no, we want more Marcus. Even though what we saw with
they want to change the story to their narrative, bloody. That's what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't change it to your narrative.
No,
you understand what I'm saying?
And
there's a story they follow. Not you, but I'm saying there's a story that they're following. You got all these dudes crying. This is the worst generation of gamers I've ever seen. They cry about everything. Everything, every game, every weapon. That gun too powerful. Back in the days, you had to be better. You know somebody. This guns are made with stats, right? You got something, and you're gonna change the gun in the game because you got crybabies. Come on, they do. It's just too much. It's too much.
And my boy Core said the Shadow team is called Gray Team. So we don't, I didn't think I didn't want the topic to go that long, but I mean, it just shows the passion.
You talking about the biggest first party game in the history of gaming. The biggest.
I got you.
No, say it again. Say it with me, K-Mega. The biggest.
The mightiest.
The mightiest.
Yes, the mightiest.
You know what? I thought you were gonna save it for last. When you said this was gonna go first, I said, "Oh yeah."
Well, no, because I wanted because we don't know a lot of the information, and so I just want to kind of knock it out. Right. So we but there's a speculation, and if it happens, then I hope that they do it right. But like I said, I hope it goes to a situation where it goes. But the tie-in, like there was somebody that used to write for Halo, and they said that they would like to get back into getting the Halo. And that person is always throwing different ideas. Like the person said, I would love to see a Locke and Arbiter team up, solo game. I mean, well, not solo game, but team up game. Like, just think about how dope that would be. Because of course, if you played Halo 5, you've seen how close Team Osiris and the Arbiter was because they went on to the Covenant homeworld and they helped take out the Covenant homeworld. And Arbiter was like, look, there's going to be songs made about you for the help that you've done. He says, now go ahead and go find Chief's ass and jump on that Guardian. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a great tie-in, right?
And can I bring up a point too?
Go ahead.
Real quick.
Yeah.
In ODST, people was mad in the beginning because you didn't play with Spartans. Do y'all remember that?
Oh, I remember it.
All right. They
were the same way about
They
Reach.
don't want to see the different universe. These are the people that got tunnel vision. But the real hardcore Halo fans who read the books, they want to see it tackled from all angles. Because Halo is, yes, it's bigger than Master Chief, but he is the Superman of the universe. You understand? He is the man. But now when they try to do Halo Reach, you know the whole team got smoked. Oh, I don't want to do that. How Spartan's just going to die. They didn't want to play an ODST. Oh, we ain't got no overshield. Just think back to the history and look at the same people complaining. ODST was dope as hell. Halo Reach was dope as hell. It was short as hell, but it was dope. Okay? But you know, you got people that just can't think outside the box. This is why they don't make games, and this is why they don't direct movies. Yeah. Just play the game.
And Reach had really great writing. I was like, and that was
Listen, Reach was dope, but I'm just saying from the history, bloody, people complain about every
Reach was fantastic. Reach is like my third favorite Halo.
Officially,
Reach
is the hardest playing Halo to date. You know how many times I died in ODST?
A lot.
That was like the Dark Souls of Halo. And these dudes was crying, oh, I need to be a Spartan. But you know what? It did well. Every Halo did well. But I'm just saying, like, this is just ridiculous with the complaining, man.
Right. Exactly. And then, go ahead, Bloody. I'm sorry.
And ODST showed us a whole new side of the.
Yes. That's what Halo Universe is about.
Yeah. Because we got to see the ODST teams like that. That's
right.
really.
I don't want Chief to die, but let them do the side stories. Look at the people who didn't play the RTS. Oh, I don't play RTS. You missed out.
Yeah. You missed out. I missed out. I did.
You know what I'm saying? But these are not Halo dudes. These are people casuals. The hardcore is happy.
They read the books and things like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and K-Mega, I was with you because you talked about how you played Spartan Assault and Spartan Strike. I played those too. Yeah, they weren't some people they weren't the best, but I like the twin stick shooter aspect and the fact that it talked about side missions and stories that weren't explored in the Halo universe because it was all war games and simulations talking about old campaigns that happened alongside the main story. And I like that.
Thank you for the zappers, Jazzy. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, 100. One way, you see what Vodka posted in the chat towards you?
No.
So he was
remember some of these fools were kids. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Point, right?
That's 100. That's a great point. And what crazy is, I don't try to tell anybody anything about their knowledge. But if you grow up in something, and like I said, I read the novels, my guys. Listen, there's so much to Halo. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Even with Gears, it's a lot of character development in Gears. People did not want to play with what's her name's son. They didn't want to play with him. What's his name?
Marcus's son.
Yeah, they didn't. But stop.
Somebody,
them dudes is getting old. Come on.
JD. They didn't like JD. They liked Dale because Dale was that secondary guy. But then they got pissed off because they were like, well, why do I gotta choose between JD and Dale?
It's always something.
It's always
and you see in part 5, they tried to tackle them dudes when they brought in the OGs to put in the work.
Right.
Remember
why JD acted like this? And man, listen,
I just play the game and enjoy it.
We're about to jump into the next topic, guys, because I really didn't want Halo to go this long because we don't know everything that's going on, but
we don't know jack shit.
But I do enjoy that. But the one thing about it is what we said last week when we talked about Halo was that Halo is captivating. Regardless of what people say, it is captivating, and it
only can compare it to itself.
And that's it. There's really nothing like it. So. All right, so let's get into the next topic. Hell, I didn't even know what the next topic is because we was on it. I was like, man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta stop it. But thank you guys. So let's see. Who? Damn, y'all posting a whole bunch of stuff. What you and
EVO.
Xbot and no, Evo's the last topic. Because I want PK. I want PK to go all in because he didn't want to talk about the Halo situation. But I was like, I'm gonna let my boy PK get all in because he is probably the most deep into Evo out of all of us. I think personally. I don't know. Maybe I know that.
Nah, he got me beat.
Yeah, he got me beat. I know that. So anyway,
I keep a lot. I watch it a lot, but I'm not deep into it like
okay,
I watch
so here we go.
But I
Yeah, watching it, not deep. Same
Yeah.
here.
So, all right, let's get to it. Okay, so the Xbox event in July, right? And like, yeah, I didn't know if this was good because I think the next topic is going to be our big topic I'm looking at with the pricing of games that I think
is it about bug snacks?
But yeah, it could be because Buzz Snacks is a multi-plat, so it's coming to Xbox eventually. Yeah, I love Bug Snacks, but no, check it out. So this is the question I have for you, and I'm gonna go straight to my boy Op on this one. Okay, the Xbox event is in July. We all know that. Most likely, it's looking like it's going to be July 23rd. The question I have for you is two questions. What games do you want to see from Xbox, and what games Xbox needs to show? People in the chat, please let me know in the comments because I want them to know. I want people from Xbox to know what we need to see, what we want to see, what we expect to see. So, Op, let us know what will get people to be like, damn, this show was incredible, and then let me know what games for you personally that will make you go crazy.
Well, I guess to tackle the first question, like games that can show up, make people shut up, probably the most generic shit out there. They've asked for all this generation, probably like photorealistic third-person action adventure games from these studios right at this point.
Right, give me a name of a game. Like, give me something other than that. Yeah, give me a name of a game.
Maybe this Perfect Dark game that has been rumored heavily for the last couple of months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'll probably get people to shut up. Then after that, Fable as well.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like games for other studios, like I don't know about Everwild because it's cartoony and people can write the shit off immediately. Unfortunately, because got a lot of closed-minded gamers this generation.
Right.
So that's a hit or miss at this point.
Not for anyone that's hyping up Astro Adventure. I'm just saying.
Facts, bro. But people wish watching right now. As far as like I guess Obsidian, maybe like I doubt it because I think we're supposed to get DLC from the Outer Worlds right now later on.
Yeah, they're gonna show some first party new games.
First party new games? Okay, well, that case maybe a new game that
That's what
I still think they would tease it or talk about it.
They could. We'll see. But maybe a new game, probably a new RPG that In Exile is probably working on, but like that's just started, so I doubt they have anything to show about that. So I don't know. As far as other studios, maybe something Compulsion is working on at this point. Like I don't know what they're doing because they've been whisper quiet over there as well. So we may not see anything from them at this point. As far as the other studios, Gear 6, that's definitely out of the question. We're not going to see that at the show. That's that. We're definitely going to see Halo Infinite. I can't wait for that. If they deliver on their showcasing of that, it's definitely going to shut everybody up, hands down, in my opinion.
Mute his mic. He said, "If you got to go."
No, I said if.
Go stand.
No, I'm saying if, because I'm telling you right now, Halo Infinite is in a very shaky position right now because they're literally caught in
no, it ain't.
Classic
no,
fans
it ain't.
and the modern fans.
No, it ain't.
And they gotta find a way to
$2.5 billion Halo 5. No, it ain't.
I don't get
biggest Halo ever launched in the history. No, it ain't.
They try to kill Halo 5, and it's still successful.
Exactly.
But still, it's about
they're not in trouble. They're nothing.
How successful it is, people try to kill off regardless because they'll find something they didn't like. Just go back to what you said. They'll find anything to complain about this generation. So
you know what's not successful? Death Stranding.
Oh. Hey.
I don't care.
Hey, no,
that's not successful.
Hey, no.
$2.5 billion generated is not anything unsuccessful.
Lemon. He's talking about what he wants to see and his thoughts. Let him talk about it.
Right. Let him talk.
No,
about
I'm just saying. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying how people try to write off. They try to write off Halo 5 like it's a flop. I just like to put out the numbers. This has nothing to do with Op. They try to write off Halo 5 like it didn't.
I got some numbers about Halo 5, but I want to get everybody else.
Can we listen? We've talked about Halo 5's numbers for like every other week for the past 7 months. Let's get over it.
I don't care.
We get it.
I just like repeating it. I love it.
People complain. Yes, we get it. You love it. We know you love it, Lemon.
Twist the wound and then drop salt in it. I love it.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that when you talking about the numbers,
too deep.
Get over it.
Okay, gentlemen. Can Op finish because y'all just interrupting him like crazy?
Well, you got a point there, but shit.
Continue, and please, gentlemen, give him his time.
Okay, I'm trying to think of anything else that they could possibly show. They'll probably show more Wastelands 3, which I'm definitely excited for, because like their raw news for that game has been incredible right now. Like it's probably gonna be one of the best think isometric RPGs out there today, because like as far as the character creation, the story, how it's gonna pan out, like there's a lot of depth to the game right now. There's a lot we don't know at this point, but like it's probably gonna be really highly customizable. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. For the other studios, I'm not a big racer fan, but the next Forza game is probably gonna kill it. Like when they show it, it's more definitely gonna kill it when they show it off, because that's pretty much a juggernaut of racers at this point right now. Other studios, Double Fine, I think they're making Psychonauts 2, I believe. That's what they're making, and that has a cult following behind it, so that's probably going to make a lot of people happy at that point. But that's as far as I can think of. As far as what I'll be excited to see, of course, Halo Infinite is a big game for me. I want to see what 343 are doing in that game, because I am worried about the game, because I don't want them to pander to the bitchers, people who have been bitching about the game for who knows how long, because they haven't get the specific things they wanted throughout the years. But we're going to wait and see about that. Going on from there, I want to see what Compulsion's working on, because I really do love that studio. Like, they sold me a We Happy Few, because I had low expectations for that game. And that story, the gameplay was decent. It was passable at that point, but the story in the game was incredible. Like, way better than what I expected was. All they need to do is just nail their gameplay mechanics, and they'll be fine going forward. I have that much faith in them at this point. But going from there, I want to see more from Everwild, because that game does have my interest at this point. I get a little bit of, I don't want to say, but I get a little bit of Breath of the Wild vibes from it as well, but we got to see more from it at this point. But I have faith in Rare, because they're definitely on that studio. Say again?
I feel you on that. I feel you on that with the Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, give me that feeling too.
Definitely. As far as other studios, I want to see what Obsidian's working on as well. It could be DLC for the Outer Worlds, and maybe it could be the next IP at this point, or maybe Outer Worlds 2. We don't know. But like, I doubt it's Outer Worlds 2, because we just got that game. It's too soon to see anything about that.
Too soon, right.
Yeah. So probably be DLC for Outer Worlds if they are doing that right now. As far as I already spoke about In Exile, I'm trying to think of the other studios. Damn, they got so many of them. It would be cool to see what Mojang's working on besides Minecraft. Like, I would really want to see another game that they're working on at this point. I know they rebranded their studio a while ago. I can't remember they announced anything, like, or teased anything at that point, but I would like to see if they're working on a different game right now. As far as other studios, I'm trying to think. God, there's like 15 of them. Who else is there? Shit. Oh, Ninja Theory. Oh, I like to see more from Project Mara, because that game right there, I mean, that left an impression on me. So I really want to see more what they're doing with that game. Because I know it's gonna be different, because it's going to dive in more. So I think mental illnesses as well, I believe, with their patient as well. So I really want to see what they're going to do with that. Other studios, got to think, because what other studios are there? Obsidian. I'm pretty sure they're going to start more from Grounded. People have been playing it, and people said they loved it so far. I haven't tried it out myself yet. I gotta get on that quickly before it times out. So I gotta see it for myself. But Grounded, like, at first I wasn't feeling the game, but it kept showing more and more. I was like, oh, okay, it's more with me right at this point. I'm feeling more and more, so I want to see more from that game. And that's really all I can think of. Like, there's like 15 studios. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. There's too many of them at this point.
Right. Do you think that they're going to bring any more studios? Add any more?
I would hope so, and I hope there's a WB Studios at this point, but that's too early right now, unfortunately. Okay. But like my top wish would be the WB Studios. If not them, I don't know else who I want them to acquire at this point. People are saying Techland. I don't know about Techland at this point. I know they're a Polish studio. It'll be a dope acquisition for them, because they are what they did with Dying Light too. With Dying Light, oh my goodness, man! Like, they just shot in popularity after that game. Like, they kind of solidified themselves as one, like, I guess, one of the more popular third-party developers out there with that game, because it was so good, and they have a lot riding with Dying Light 2. So maybe Techland after them, I don't know. I don't know as far as acquisitions. CD Projekt Red, that's ridiculous. That'll probably never happen.
They can't afford CD Projekt Red. They're worth $8 billion. Nobody's buying a studio that costs $8 billion.
Hold on. There's a difference when you say that they can't afford them. They can afford them.
No, it wouldn't make sense. No. They could buy them, of course. Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
They were trying to buy Sony back during the OG Xbox.
Yeah, facts. So, yeah. But I'm saying, like, they're worth $8 billion. Like, that's not a studio you aim to buy. That's a little excessive. They would have to make like 5 witches to make that game that money back.
Yeah, pretty much. Because their turnover rate for games is like pretty much 1 per generation at this point.
Well, no.
Yeah, but the first 2 games didn't sell like that. It's that 3 that did that number for them.
Well, that's because they 2 was on 360. Nobody didn't even know about it, and then
Right.
The first
I'm not
one was just
knocking
only
them.
on-
There was great
only
games,
on
but I'm
PC.
saying like 3 is what put them to that money, that big,
Yeah.
like an EA status in terms of finances.
And
you know what I'm saying?
heard that
3
they're
is a
doing
monster.
I heard that they're doing pretty good with the with the card game. So I don't know.
I don't doubt that.
I haven't
The
tried to play
Witcher
it.
3 is a phenomenon right now. Over 30 million sold.
All right, so let me go to PK on this because he's been quiet for a little while. What are some of the games that you are hoping that would be revealed on the show, and what are some of the games that you think that needs to be shown in order for people to stop with this crazy narrative that Xbox doesn't have any games?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not talking about Halo anymore.
Damn, disrespectful.
I thought it was a short topic.
You can't be disrespecting the king in here.
Bro, listen. I tried to make it as short as possible. Everybody else was over here. I was trying like, okay, let's go.
That was a great job, by the way. I just want to reward you.
You know what? As a host, I failed you. I'm sorry, but you know what? When we talk about EVO, as a host, I failed you. But as EVO, I'm gonna let you have all the time you want. So it's gonna be a payoff. That's why I said we're doing the EVO topic at the end, because I know what you want to say and I know how long you're gonna talk about it. So therefore, you will have the floor because you are the king of EVO. So how about that, PK? Can the host get some love on that?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna respond to your question. So
damn. Okay,
so
go ahead, bro.
for me, particularly outside of very interested in hopefully a new Perfect Dark. That would be amazing, especially if they make it kind of like how Ops described it, like a third world open action kind of game. Also, would love for them to revive MechAssault. I've been looking for a MechAssault game forever. That was the very first Xbox Live game, the very first game I played on Xbox, and I would really like them to revive that. Also, me personally, I don't want to specifically say all the games because I'm looking for surprises. I'm looking for something new. I want to see everything that they want us to be. They've been very hush hush, and I know they've been cooking in that big old pot of theirs with all those studios, and it's more than just the normal Forza this, Forza that. And yes, we know there's a motorsport coming, but I want to see all the new projects. The one that I mentioned that Rare's working on. I like to see what is that? What is that? What is this? I mean, I'm not going to buy into the fact that nobody wants to play this because it's animated. Let's be real. They on a Sony show, they showed what's that game you want to play, Bloody, with the animals in the high school or whatever the heck that was.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye, Volcano High.
Okay, I knew you.
I want to play Volcano High.
I knew you knew the name of it because it's your type of game. So you can't. I won't buy into the fact that people will play that and not try the Rare game. That don't add up to me. So I
But we also know that I'm a sucker for those Telltale style games and those ones. I like those.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like them too, but I'm just saying that I believe there's a game for everyone, and I believe that that will be attractive to a lot of people. And I played the demo of Grounded.
You're thinking that's going to be a multi-plat, just saying.
Okay, well, I was just pointing out that people are interested. That's why they made the game. So I'm sure they will be interested in Rare's Everrest, is it? I don't remember the exact name of it, but and I played Grounded, and Grounded is pretty fun. I actually thought it was not going to be a game for me because of the visual aesthetics, but the game is actually pretty fun. It reminds me of kind of like Ark Survival in a way. I don't know if anybody.
Graphics.
I don't know if anybody played that, but it's similar to that.
Runs terrible.
I couldn't get past the dinosaur that kept nipping at my. I did get his ass and burn him up.
It doesn't have dinosaurs or any of that, but
yeah, but
the thing I'm getting at, it is fun, and you know, a lot of
way creepier than dinosaurs.
A lot.
You were screaming on next podcast like a girl, but we're not gonna go there, King Mega.
He does by mention.
He was screaming. Oh man! Oh hey! Woo! This thing could be scary. I was like, I know he didn't do that.
It's a peak.
Not live.
It's PK's time, man. Shut up. PK, go ahead. Continue, please.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much all. I just mainly looking for surprises. I'd rather be surprised than be disappointed. Like I said, I'm hoping for it, but I highly doubt they bring in a new Mech Assault. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Infernal Lock. I do have to ask this question to PK, and I will hit you up too, because I didn't get to ask you this question, but PK, would you rather see a older game be remastered or renewed, or would you rather see a brand new IP?
You mean like a reboot? Not really remaster.
Right. Yeah, not a remaster, a reboot.
We'll call it a Blue Point special.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, because there's tons of IPs. I mean, heck, we should see a new Killer Instinct, but no one said anything like that. I mean, we should definitely see a polish on some of the old IPs. What was that, Brinks, or what was that,
Brinks.
Time Travel?
Tomcat.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, why not get a shine on that? I mean, they own that IP. Why not? They own a lot of IPs that's older from the OG Xbox. They never went back to revisit. I would love to see them revisit those things.
I was saying that the other day too. I definitely agree with that.
So you prefer to an older game instead of a new IP?
I'm not saying instead of. I would say it would be great to add on to say, hey, we didn't forget you guys who were fans back when we started. Here's something for you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No,
Someone mentioned Cameo too. I mean, there's a fan base behind Cameo. There you go.
It sure is.
All right.
There you go.
All right, great point. All right, Op, I'm going to ask you the same question, and I'm going to go ahead and jump to Slayer. What between the differences, what would you rather have, a new IP from Xbox or something from the old school that's a reboot?
Preferably a new IP, because whatever studio they gave it to make the new IP, I would like to have more creative freedom as far as making a new IP versus going back to just bringing back an older IP into the current generation at this point. Because if you bring back something like Banjo-Kazooie, you can't go balls to wall with it to a degree, because there are certain limitations you have to take into account when making a game like that and try to translate into a modern generation at this point. Whereas new IP is a completely new concept at that point. You can do quote unquote whatever you want with it, because it's pretty much your baby at that point, and there's not as many limitations that there would be creating that versus an older IP. But that's just how I feel.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Slayer, you're up. What is your thoughts about
He said
this?
you're up.
You're up, bro. I mean, look, he's been listening. He's ready to go. I know he's ready to go. So what?
I'm up.
I'll listen to it. All right. So what is going on, man? What? The same question I asked everybody else, man. What are you anticipating, and what should Xbox bring to get people excited?
Well, I think you always want a nice mix, and then peppered in between a nice mix of old and new, right? But even before I get to that, so one of the things PK was mentioning, or at least you was asking him about, and he did mention that there's a lot of older titles and IPs that Microsoft could dip into the bag, like Blinks the Time Cat and other things like that. But in many ways, it seems to be that's exactly what the plan is anyway, because we're hearing rumors of Perfect Dark, Killer Instinct, Fable. At least one of those got to be true in the minimum, right? And there's probably more than likely. So, you want a nice mix of old and new, right? And peppered in between that, you need some bangers, some hitters. And we know Halo is definitely one of them. In fact, the biggest one that's going to be there. But maybe not. Maybe there might be something secret we never heard about. With all these developers and all this money and all these people that moved over, I can't help to think that maybe there's something else we haven't heard about yet. Something else that's not going to be out in a year maybe two, and I kind of even feel that maybe after what happened with Scalebound, that maybe it would be a mistake to show something at this early point of development. So so that you might be a little trepidatious about that, but there's got to be something in the kitchen that's being cooked up that maybe not for this year or early next year, maybe right before E3 next year. Something longer term, but not too far away. Something that could be a tentpole, a pillar game like Halo and Forza and Gears. So I'd love to see something like that. I definitely want to see a couple of things from the OG Xbox catalog. We discussed this sometime, was it yesterday, the day before we were talking about this? That's definitely something I want to see. So I want to see just some new ideas, some old classics, maybe a return. I would really love to see. And this is why because all throughout the 360 era, I rocked on the same old 20 gig plus USB sticks I've mentioned before. And it wasn't until a couple years ago, well after the 360 era was over, I got myself an Elite on one of those, models what they had fixed the thing to get a lot of arcade 360 arcade games that I had before installed and up to date because I loved playing those. And I would love to see a return to that because that really pushed the indie scene far greater, and not just the indie scene, but even the big publishers to make. Capcom made many installments of games like Bionic Commando Rearmed, that did better than the $60, modern tough guy, white guy with dreads, and his wife is the arm, and spoiler, weird stuff like that. The retro games seem to be better, and I'd love to see a nice mix of that. I'm big into retro gaming, so I'd like to see all types of things, but maybe the return of Xbox Live Arcade. I would love to see that. What that brings to the industry, what that brings to the gamers, I think would be far-reaching and better for everybody long term. I mean, we're still feeling the impact of the original on 360. I'd love to see that come back.
No doubt. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same question. What would you rather see? A new IP from Xbox, or I don't want to hear the diplomatic side.
No, I got you.
Yeah. Which one would you rather see? You know what I'm saying, a reboot or a brand new IP?
Okay, so basically I've been saying I want a whole mix of this and that, so I can't just give you that. I already basically just went through all of that, so I got to pick. So something new or something maybe a reboot, like a Blinks the Time Cap, for example, just, as an example of something rebooted, not specifically that. Man, I think there's enough new stuff coming. I think they have that covered for now, although I'd like I said, I'm hoping that there's a new tentpole that's being cooked up that could be at that level, that gets the support of a Halo or a Forza or a Gears. So I want to see something new that's big time like that. Yes, of course, I as I mentioned, I want to see something for both sides, but if I have to pick the one, it's got to be the new. Something big, though.
I also want to point out something is okay. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
please,
fine,
go ahead. Good timing.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but every time there is a character reveal on Smash, it's usually tied to a game release or a game refresh. So there was Banjo-Kazooie, who was released last year in June on Smash. And I'm not going to say that's a guarantee, but it's just usually the practice. So when there was Bayonetta 2 came out. When there was cloud release, Final Fantasy came out on the Switch and also remastered on Xbox and PlayStation. So usually it's tied to a game release or a game remaster.
That's a great point. That is a great point. You are right. There has been new games for almost any character that has been applied to Smash, and you could just go back and just look. I mean, already like that is a great point. That is a really great point. All right, Bloody, what do you think, man? What is some of the games that you would like to see, and what games do you think that's coming out?
Well, obviously, I want to see more, really, because of the fact that for people who keep forgetting that they have Double Fine, I want to see more of Psychonauts 2. I was like, we know that game's coming, but I want to see more of it, especially now that Double Fine has a lot of that Microsoft money. Besides the good money that they got from investors for that project, I want to see more from that game. Obviously, I'm looking at wanting to see what we get from Halo Infinite. Of course, everyone wants to see me. I was like, I remember the original
Perfect Dark back on the N64, but for me, the sweet spot has always been Fable. So there's rumors for Fable for the past 2 years. I would love to see something. I was one of the people who's kind of sad that when Lionhead got shut down after the failure of Legends and stuff like that. So I want to see them really make a comeback with that. I want to see. Hopefully that they do a tease for the Outer Worlds DLC. I know Op mentioned that, but here's the thing with Obsidian, Outer Worlds, they said is going to be their next real big franchise besides anything else that they're working on. And we know that they said that they were going to do a DLC for it for a while. And I mean, they just launched the Outer Worlds on Switch. So now's as good a time to start building up any hype for any new future content for that game coming out. One thing that I would like to see more from, I definitely want to see more from Obsidian and whatever else they may have coming forward, because I know a couple of the studios have new things coming out. I want to see more from Team Blooper with what they're doing with the medium, because everyone knows I'm a big horror fan. I was like that. The fact that the medium is going to be a big thing and an exclusive for Xbox, and the fact that it has the composer from Silent Hill, it's something that's absolutely I'm excited for and that I'm in love with. I know that there's been rumors that they're acquiring a new studio, and one of them is going to have a lot of history with horror games, and I definitely say that Xbox would absolutely be successful to have a first party exclusive horror game. That's something that I'm all for. There's the repeated rumors we've heard because of all the love that Phil Spencer has been giving to Japan and seeing what they are, and there's been the rumors for a while that they're either acquiring a Japanese studio or they're founding one with members from other teams that wanna help create it. And I think that would be awesome to see, because as a Japanese enthusiast of gaming for Xbox, I'm very supportive of the Japanese side of things and stuff like that. So I would definitely love to see that kind of support and get a first person or a first party Japanese studio and kind of see what they're able to do, whether they focus on action RPGs or old school style JRPGs, which are turn-based stuff, or anything new that they're doing. We know that they had a good relationship with Grasshopper Manufacturer back in the day, and things like that. There's been rumors that it's supposed to be either White Owl or Mistwalker, a few others. There's quite a few studios that they were to acquire one that would be good. So I do want to see some more of that. And then I just really want some surprises, because they said this is all the first party. We know that there's a lot of stuff from the first party that have been in the works for a while and new projects being started. I want to kind of see some teases of these new projects coming out, right? I want to see more from Ninja Theory. No one really mentioned it. Obviously, we want to see more teases and kind of where they're at with Hellblade, but I want to see if they have any more information about Project Mara. I was like, that's kind of a horror psychological thing that Ninja Theory is doing. I would love to see more on that game. I want to see what they're doing with Project Mara and go from there. There's just quite a lot of variety that they have between all their studios. Mentioned Compulsion has been quiet for a while. We know that they've been ramping up hiring at their studio. Let's see what they have coming up. I was like, we know that they did a massive success with overhauling where their original idea was when they did We Happy Few, and then what they were able to do with it and then improve upon it after they got acquired, and then doing all the DLC that they released for that game. There's so much potential from what we're going to see from first party games, and then obviously any second party exclusives. And whenever they have a lot of second party, typically they work with those studios for a while before they acquire them, kind of what we saw with State of Decay. And what they did with Team Undead Labs. I definitely think we're going to see some very interesting stuff and some things that people aren't going to see coming. And that's really what I want. We can talk about the obvious stuff all day long, but it's what do they have in their litanious amounts of games in their backlog and catalog that they haven't done anything with, or what new projects are coming out that they have not even peaked. And you got to remember that this is coming out rumored right now on the 23rd, something that I mentioned in our group chat that I think would be happening, because they typically do the shows on Thursdays.
And that would be perfectly during the time that they just announced their 1 week long Summer Games Fest event, because of the fact that they're participating with everyone else in the industry for that Summer Games Fest that Jeff Keighley is running and stuff like that, and that they stated that they're going to have over 60 game demos released over the week that you'll be able to directly play on the Xbox. And these are going to be similar to the game show demos that would be on game floors. Like for us who were at E3, got to play a lot of those demos on the game floor. Same for anyone who's been to Gamescom, PAX, or any convention at all. I was like, so them doing a showcase like that directly in the middle of that entire week of game demos, that would be the smartest thing for them to do, because it would help build hype. And if they have some of those games that are coming out later this year, especially, or probably early next year within this launch window, right? Because it's a window, it's not a time. Maybe they'll have some of those demos of those first party games to let people get early tests on, because they said some of those demos may stick around, some of them may disappear. We don't know. So that would be also a great way to build hype around the first party.
No doubt. Great. So I want to let you be last, or Lemon. Do you want to be last? Which one of you guys want to be last to send us home on this topic?
It don't matter whoever you pick, son. I'll just wait my turn. Don't matter. Whatever you do.
Okay, I'm gonna let you be last so you can take your time with it. So, Live, because I'm gonna come to you first, Live, on the next topic, because I can't wait to hear what you got to say on the first topic, because we don't really hear from you during the week. I know because you be busy and all that other stuff. So, So, Live, I hear your TV in the background, Bloody.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. All right. So, question is, do you think? I mean, what does Xbox need to show? I think that's probably the most important of this topic. And then, what are some of the games that you would like to see Xbox drop on the 23rd? But I'm gonna start with the first one. What is the most important thing that Xbox needs to show on the 23rd?
The most important thing they need to show is probably Halo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they need to just do a good job of showing off Halo and kind of giving us a taste of what we're in for. They don't got to show everything. You know what I mean? You could leave surprises and give us breadcrumbs for some things later on. But like the overall gist of what we're doing, like how we feel, how the gameplay is gonna look, and any semi big surprises, that stuff would, like anything that you think that would draw people into wanting to play that game. That's what they need to show. I mean, people are already hyped, but we want to see some stuff. Also would like to definitely see some Ninja Theory if that's ready, and everything else. I say surprise me, man. But whatever they show, they need to give us. We need to see more than what we saw previously. Which I'm pretty sure they're going to do that. Because we know they're doing the demos, and you're gonna. I mean, most of those are probably indies. But I saw some. They probably gonna have.
Speaking to the mic, it's.
Is it me or did his mic drop?
Yeah, no, your mic dropped. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm like, I'm turning up the volume. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. What's going on, man? But you looking away? What's going on?
This man falling asleep.
Man falling asleep.
Hey, man, listen. It's a long day.
all right. We got it.
But no. I mean, I was saying how I'm really looking forward to them. Just like just show games. Like I don't like putting all these conditions and they got to do all this. Right. I just need to see next gen games. And to me, I think that all the games that they're doing with this whole the demos thing, I think they're gonna have little mini events around, like not events, but like kind of what they're doing now with the ID Xbox stuff. They're gonna probably have one big thing where they're gonna just show all 60 games, and then throughout the week we'll just play those and You know, that'd be nice. But like for their big event, it probably should be whatever those big AAA games that they have. Like, you know, you should see the medium, even though it's not necessarily AAA, but it's a game that's coming out this year, and I don't see why they would hold it until Gamescom, if they're even having a Gamescom. So they might as well show it now. That Scorn, along with whatever AAA games they got. Like, you know, just show us what you got. Give us like it's, you know, some gameplay, and then that'd be good, man. I mean, anything else, you know, whatever they try to do, that's cool. But that's my main thing. I just need to see gameplay and make sure it looks good. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't look good, then you might want to just hold that shit till show it when it does look better.
Great point. Great point. Okay, so I forgot to ask you and Bloody this. I don't. So I'm gonna ask you first. Which would you rather see, a new IP or a reboot to an older Xbox game?
I'm trying to think. Reboot to an older Xbox game. It depends on what it is.
It's really. Is it a new? What are you craving for? A new IP, or something from Xbox portfolio that would get you to be like, oh damn, they brought this back. So which one?
I'm trying to think. What could they, I mean? To me, it's not necessarily I'm trying to think. What do they have as far as an old IP that we haven't seen in a long time? I mean, other than the stuff we already kind of know that's being used. So I'm not talking about Perfect Dark and all that stuff. I'm thinking about something other than those games. Trying to think. Maybe Riddick, if that's even possible.
I mean, if that would be possible, that'd be fantastic. I would prefer it to be
something like that.
Give us the backwards compatibility first. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I would like that. I would. I mean, that's another reason why we should get a backwards compatibility, and then we should get a brand new game because those games were good, you know. And I think that Xbox wouldn't hurt for a first person shooter game. I mean, they don't have a ton of them. I mean, they're known for Halo, and that's one of the biggest ones, but they don't. It's not like every game on Xbox is a first person shooter. It seems like that the way a lot of people talk about Xbox being like the shooter box, but it's just because the controller is the best for first person shooters doesn't mean that that's all the games that Xbox makes. So.
All right, cool. Bloody, what's going on with you, man? What do you think out of the two?
For me, I honestly think that them kind of going back to an old IP would be great, because the fact that we know that new IPs are going to happen all the time, right? New IPs are always happening, and yeah, we want to see them definitely keep doing things forward. But they have so many studios now that are already working on new projects or continuing series that they started when they were independent, that they're now doing under their umbrella. Why not go and touch a franchise that hasn't had something in 10 years, 15 years? There's quite a few that there was. People mentioned some of the games from the original Xbox. You know, there was like Blinks to Time Cat. There's been a lot of surge and resurgence in love for 3D platformers. Why not give that game another chance? You know, some people really liked ARMS, that little mech game from the original Xbox and stuff like that. There's quite a few. Of course, people mentioned, or I think it was Lemon. Lemon mentioned that people really love Cameo. Was a very fun game from Rare. Rare alone has a very, very big catalog of games that are just kind of sitting for their IPs. Why wouldn't they want to touch back and bring some life back to some of those games? You know, give something new a chance, try new things, and really reboot it. I was like, that's the whole reason for a reboot and a remake, right? Is the fact that you are taking something that had something previous and making it for a brand new audience and for a brand new era. You know, that's kind of what that whole purpose is you give it a new chance to have a new life.
All right, cool. And you are killing people in the chat with the good night, baby. You're killing people in the chat with your TV, loud ass TV in the background. I'm just letting you know what the chat's saying.
Well, you know what? They can enjoy my loud ass TV because they get to hear
No,
that
they
in my
can't.
sultry voice.
No, they can't. Yeah, you better mute that shit. All right. So, Lemon, here you go. You got the floor to send us to the next topic. What?
Here we go.
Here we go. So yeah, I saved you for last on this one because I was going to get. I didn't know if Livewire was wanting to really go in on it or not, but I need to know, Lemon. I need to know what I'm saying. What is it that Xbox needs to show? Because there are so many people that are still to this day saying that Xbox has no games. They're saying that Xbox have not provided any new IPs that look graphically astounding. There are people that still saying that Xbox is lagging so far behind in that category. I need to know from you first what Xbox need to do, and then second, what would you love to see Xbox bring to the table?
First of all, they gotta aim for the fences. We need some new shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry. I said I was going to do this right before I did it, but I was laughing at Fred because Fred was clowning Bloody. Philosopher Doom, thank you, bro. We need to get on that Mortal Kombat. I need to give me some practice. He said, "Yo, just showing my bros some love. Thank you so much. I am 6 characters away from having everybody at 30 on Injustice at max." And then I'm jumping on Mortal Kombat, and I'm trying to get everybody done over there. I've kind of got this mode. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've lost my damn mind. But that means I'll be playing more Mortal Kombat 11. So anyway, all right, thank you. Go ahead, 100. I said 100. My bad. 100 been gone. He sit there and cooking. He had Dog there. He knew Dog was going to act the goddamn fool. So it is what it is. Go ahead, 108. I'm sorry.
First of all, we need to go here, man. And this is the game that's going to set and revolutionize everything.
Yes.
I'm Bug Snacks, and I'm PlayStation 5's father. But Xbox Series X is going to play me in AK.
Oh, man. There you go. There you go. You was holding on to that the whole time.
Yo, listen, man. First of all, Microsoft got to aim for the fences. We need some new IPs. Okay? We got some new ones and we got some good ones. All right. Willow Ori, that's an awesome game. Yeah. State of Decay is an awesome game. What I really want to see from them, I don't want to see Perfect Dark because people didn't appeal to Perfect Dark in the beginning. They really didn't. So I'm not gonna even take that high road on that. What I am gonna say, we need new IPs, man. And we need them to start on 3 brand new billion-dollar franchises. A Japanese studio would be nice, but they have to be on Microsoft's first-party developmental level. Don't give me no Japanese studio that making games that just like Japanese games and all the backgrounds are the same. No, if you're going to be a first-party studio, that would be an excellent thing. But I think they need...
It was a modern game for them, yeah.
Right. I think they need to aim for the fences. They need to show and prove. I think they need to show Halo, the biggest game, the big dog.
The mightiest!
Right. They need, for the naysayers, not the hardcore fan base, they really need to show where they take in the universe because there's all these questions. We talking about toys. We talking about these people dying. They need to really knock it out the fences with that. And variety, different types of games. I'm not mad at a game that look arcadey or looks cartoony because I play Ratchet and Clank. That don't look realistic.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
Ratchet and Clank is legit.
Weren't they all?
That franchise is fire. I don't give a fuck what nobody
weren't they
says.
all on the jockstrap of
Straight
Ratchet and
up,
Clank
it was.
on PS5?
He's not knocking the game. He's saying that if
Yeah. But I'm
just asking a question. Weren't they all on the jockstrap of a game that looked cartoony? That's a Pixar looking game.
Listen. First of all, the
ultra realistic
movie in Hollywood,
AAA banger. It look like a cartoon?
Comes from Disney. and they got a bunch of cartoony movies.
So PlayStation
But anyway.
fans, so PlayStation fans love Pixar games more than they love they AAA bangers. I mean, because they were all talking about it. I mean, what? Wait, explain this to me. Like, 'cause they were all on Ratchet and Clank because of them SSD.
Right, which means nothing, but okay.
But the game they look good though, you know. Still.
But it's like I think they need to aim for the fences. I don't want to see no rehashes. Maybe a Fable. I could go with a Fable. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Sir X-Man. He mentioned the title, but Project Gotham ain't coming back because Forza Horizon has taken that spot, racing through the cities. That's done. So they got a bigger game. With that being said, we know the usual suspects. We know the next Forza Motorsport is going to be a graphical showpiece, one of the best HDR games on the market, aka another cartoon game with the best that and Horizon Zero Dawn. Both of them got cartoon graphics because Horizon Zero Dawn is a cartoon looking game, but two of the best games with HDR. Those are the reference quality games, but they need to aim for the fences. They need to show variety. They need to show they're not playing. They're coming into this generation not playing. That's the attitude they've been having. That's the momentum they've been going with. We have the most powerful and fastest system ever created for a console. This is facts. So you need to keep that confidence up and show with software. I really don't care what they show. I just want it to be bangers. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be something you like scratching your head like, this is where we going? Like when I told you I'm not a Hellblade fan. How many times I've said that? And then when we seen Hellblade being shown, I said I might have to go beat that first game because that looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? That was a banger. Hopefully we get more of that. I'm pretty sure we're going to get more of that. But, you know, they need to aim for the fences. They can't shortchange. There's no room for mistakes. You got a foothold on the industry right now. You got media outlets changing their opinion on Microsoft. You got to keep that foot on people's necks. Listen, man, PlayStation going to have their good first-party games. All third-party games will play better on X. But first-party games, they got to come out and aim for fences. Because truthfully, Sony don't have a ton of first-party games, but the ones that they do have, they are different than each other. God of War is not like what's the goddamn man? Drake's Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Uncharted. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Last of Us is a good zombie game. You know what I'm saying? They got they bangers. Spider-Man is definitely a change for them. You know what I'm saying? Even, you know, we played Spider-Man before, but it's still, that's a first party game for them now. You know what I'm saying? That's a great game. Microsoft need to have brand new IPs that need to hit for the fences. I don't want to see all these goddamn reboots and remakes. And no, we've been there, done that. Let's get some new creativity out here and see where you taking your company forward. We know they got the Gears, Halo, and Forza's lined up. Will Ori and the Blind Forest 3 possibly down the road? We know this. Minecraft, the Minions edition. We know this. But you gotta come. You gotta. You bought all these studios. I don't want to see no rehashes. I don't want it. We need new stuff, new experiences, new everything, new graphics. Bugsnax and 8K don't matter. Do it. But I'm just saying we need new stuff, and I'm not gonna get them a pass this month if I don't see nothing new. You know what I'm saying? We know they spent $500 million in Halo. Nobody spends $500 million and you think the game is gonna be trash. Nobody does that. I'm not worried about Halo. I'm not worried about Forza Motorsport 18. I'm not worried about that. Let's see what else you got. Because I'm a first party studio guy for every major company: Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. I bought 3 different systems, not to play third party on all 3. It's to play the first party games. Show me what you got. Show me why I'm spending $500 or $600 come this holiday season. Please sell it to me. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna have to sell that to me. And as an Xbox fan, as a PlayStation fan, you know, Sony Ratchet and Clank was enough for me. Ain't a launch title, but it was enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm a Ratchet and Clank dude. I'll buy it. If I have to leave GameStop with one game, I'll buy it. But otherwise, Microsoft got to show me something. I mean, you know, Halo day one.
Lemon, yeah, Ratchet and Clank ain't a new game though.
No.
Bugsnax is.
No.
Bugsnax is new though.
Wow.
Bro,
you didn't even see that one coming. Oh, under the radar.
But you know what?
What's up, Megatron?
You know what?
Bugsnax.
You know what, PK? It'll make me buy the system. It's not a system selling like Halo.
I knew it. I knew it.
Thank you. You are on my side. Bugsnax for the win. I told you that Bugsnax was going to be a game for you.
It make you buy that system. $500.
Yes, 120 FPS with them SSD. You are with it.
I ain't even mad at you.
Yeah, man. No, I'm not mad at you either. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see new stuff, man. I don't want to see no remakes. You know, Capcom has done enough remakes in this last generation to cover every company's remakes. Like, come on, stop.
They really done.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see something new. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Something that's gonna get my blood flowing. Like, yeah, I'm spending this money. This is what I'm gonna get. This is what I'm looking forward to.
I want to read this to you, man. He says, "Shit, I was told when the third-party show AdSense looks fire. Second extension, the medium, etc." Now,
right.
The
medium, third party is killing it.
Yeah, the medium is most likely going to be exclusive because of the rumors of. That studio might be going to acquire Abzo, whatever their name is.
No, the team behind the medium, that's Blooper, because they're the team that made.
Oh, okay, that's Blooper. Okay.
Yeah, so, you're talking about Asobo.
Yeah, they made the one with the kid and the woman and the kid and the rats. That's a dope ass game.
That's Plague Tale.
Plague Tale, yeah. That's a dope ass game. Second extension, stuff like that. So yeah, those are new
showing
IPs.
That third-party showcase, right? Yeah, but those are also other games on other systems. That's not gonna make me buy next.
The medium.
I said first party. I said first party.
The medium is exclusive.
I get that. But that's
how do you get
cool.
that when you just said those were third party?
You said exclusives. You said exclusives. I said first party.
The medium is exclusive.
But it's not a first party.
What about Scorn? That's another one
that's first party.
Okay. I'm good with that, but that's not what I wanted to see. We don't know nothing.
Bugsnax is what he wanted to see. That's what's up.
You're right, PK. You're right, PK. AK version of Bugsnax.
I'm talking about first party. Sony made games, Nintendo made games, Xbox, Microsoft Studio made games. Okay, that's what we talking about here.
So let me ask you this: what studios do you think Xbox is going to acquire on this stage?
Man, I have no idea. I don't do that.
Could it be?
Could it be Blooper? I don't even anticipate that. I just go with the flow. That one thing I don't do. I ain't jumping out the window because a lot of people said they was gonna buy the one that made Ori, and they said we not for sale.
Right.
Everybody just knew that was happening.
Everybody, but hold on.
Not for sale. Moon Studios.
Obsidian said they weren't for sale either, and look what happened.
That's one out of 5,000 guesses.
Oh, okay, come on now, Lemon.
That's something that happened. I'm not knocking that. What I'm saying is,
get you, but
people throw a lot of stuff out there, and eventually you come up right. Eventually, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I don't know what studio they should buy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't know. I'm not gonna say something I don't have confidence in. I don't know. I would like them to buy the Cryotech company to get that engine. the Crytek engine.
But we don't. But we don't even know.
It's
But we
like
don't
6
even
of
know
them
what.
left.
But we don't even know what. We don't even know if the slip space engine is going to be anything that could be
Oh
passed
no,
around.
that slip space is a beast. We've seen it.
I know, but I'm saying we don't know if that could be passed around. It might be primarily just for 343, but
It might be.
I mean,
that's
but,
possible.
But I mean,
because
just
it's
look-
groundbreaking.
But look
Ideas
what.
and technology
but-
and what
but
they
hang on.
where it's going to be get passed
But-
around through all the
Right,
Microsoft Studios.
Yeah,
We already know
I
they
was
do
saying
that.
they always do that. And what I was about to say is that we've seen whenever a publisher, because remember, Microsoft and Xbox first and foremost is a publisher, and they are publishing their first-party studios. Is that engine they wouldn't sink almost $500 million into an engine that they're not going to utilize. For
No.
other
I'm also
studios.
going to say this. You know what game I want to see a sequel to?
What's
There's
that?
really 2 games:
What's that?
Rise
Right.
and Sunset Overdrive. We only got a taste at launch with those games.
Sunset Overdrive.
Rise may happen.
I know
Sunset's never
Sunset. I'm
happening.
just saying, just for
Right,
I
right.
would
Oh,
like
okay,
to
just
see.
for
I'm
your-
not
oh,
saying
just
it's
for
going to
your-
happen. I'm saying for
You
something I would like to see.
You would
a
have
new
to
Rise.
see Sony would, and this is the funny thing though. Sony might not even do it. Sony could do it because I believe Xbox gave the rights back to Insomniac, and they were just like, Sony just kind of like, we might not see it. We might just stick with Spider-Man. So then at that point, then you're looking at what Sony is doing. Rise. I don't know. I mean,
Yo, listen,
I'm right with them.
Rise is the 300 of gaming. I'm telling you, I told you about my boy. He bought that Xbox and he went on Game Pass and he went crazy. And he was like, yo, why this game Rise ain't got a sequel? He a PlayStation dude. He said, look like this game was made yesterday. This game is incredible. That's a PlayStation dude talking. I told you that earlier this week.
Rise is amazing.
Rise is crazy. That deserves a sequel.
Oh, it does. It definitely does. I mean,
If anybody want to say something about a game, that would be a game I want to see. And that's still a new IP. That's not an old IP.
No,
That's a new IP.
Well, it came out at the beginning of the gen.
No, but I'm saying they only got one game. It's not. It's not on number 4. You get what I'm saying? It's not on number 4. It's on number 1. So if I don't want to see another Resident Evil remake, you know what I'm saying? We know they're making a new one, but I'm saying give me a part 2 to that. That's crazy. Absolutely insane that game don't got a sequel. Crytek went bankrupt. It's only like 6 of them left, but buy that. Listen, it's true. It's about they done. They used to be a worldwide studio. It's like 6 of them. You ever play Hunt Showdown? You could tell 6 people worked on it.
Yeah, no,
it's horrible.
I played it.
It's horrible, but that engine is a beast. Add that to your repertoire. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's how I feel, man. Like I need them to aim for the impress me. I'm already buying a system for Halo. Show me something else. Because we as Xbox fans, we know we doing third party, right? We know where the third party game is gonna play best. So you're not gonna impress me with a third party game. I don't want to see 2K. I don't care.
Ooh. I saw someone in the chat mention something that I would like to see too. That actually surprised me.
Is I would like to see more from Armature Studios and doing a sequel to Recore. Because Recore was definitely.
Yeah, Recore is another underrated game. Facts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Brand new IP.
All of Xbox first party games are underrated if you really think about it. I mean,
I just that's what I want from them.
The ones from the beginning of the
Impress me.
gen, yeah, definitely.
Impress me. I'm not gonna go bananas over Halo when I'm buying Halo anyway. I don't care what nobody say. I'm buying Halo. I'm a Halo guy. Master Chief is my guy. That's not what I want to be impressed by. I want to be impressed by new stuff. Me and you talked about what was that third person down game that the third party showed?
The Ascent?
That was Ascent?
Oh no, you must be talking about memory.
No, with the
Bright
third party
Memory.
showcase.
Bright memory.
And they had the third person. It was like more of like a Diablo style game, and it was shooting crazy.
That's the Ascent. That's the Ascent. Yeah, that's the Ascent.
Yeah, listen,
the cyberpunk
that got me
game.
hyped.
Yeah.
That got me hyped.
Yeah.
I was hyped. That was the best game for me. Then everything I had other games I liked, but
Bright
that
Memory
game right there
is what you were talking about.
done
Mega.
did it
Bright
for me.
Memory.
Yeah.
It did it for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like that about a few first party games because, like I said, I buy all these consoles. I don't buy them for third party. I buy them for first party. All 3 of them. So I want to be impressed by first
Even
party.
if they're third party exclusives. Like only on that console?
No, I'm talking about first party.
I know you saying.
Stop trying to add. Stop trying to give me DLC.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I don't care
All
about
right.
console exclusive. Hold on, let me finish, bloody. It's my turn.
Yeah.
It's my turn. I'm not talking about something that's made exclusive for the system. I don't care because we see that don't even work. Because then they be like, yeah, it's exclusive. And then all of a sudden it end up a year later on another console. It's a timed exclusive. I don't care about that. I care about Microsoft Studios, Sony Studios, Nintendo Studios. That's it. That's why I buy 3 consoles every generation, or 2 consoles, or whatever it is, every generation. I want first party. Impress me first party. No console exclusives. None of this. Yeah, we made a deal for 2 years. No. First party. That's it.
All right.
I'm
okay,
done.
so no, you good. I'm going to the third topic, and that is about the pricing, which got a lot of people in their feelings. And I'm gonna go straight to you, Slayer, on this one. I'll go to I was gonna go to live, but
You're supposed to go to live.
Yeah, no, I went to live first on the last topic. I just thought about that. I sit there and I keep tabs. So I'm going to go to Slayer. I'm going to go to Slayer on this one. Okay, so there was a NBA 2K 21. It came out and the game is $70. It gave the impression that more games that's going to come out is going to be $10 more. This has been kind of going out. We've been talking about this for quite a long time. I will definitely give my impressions on this after everybody else does, but I do want to hear your thoughts on this, Slayer, and everybody else's. So, Slayer, what do you think about this? Is this a situation where people are, because we see a lot of people upset about it. We see some people that's nonchalant about it. But do you think that it's about the time now going into the next generation where it's not that big of a deal for $10? Or from your pinpoint, is this where it's like, damn, I might be almost done with gaming? Because I've heard both sides. What do you think?
Bruh, listen, man. 40 years of life. Okay, at the end of the year, it'll be 41. Over 35 of that plus has been gaming. So I've seen it from as far back as 2600. That was a couple years before my own birth to today. Okay, and so I've seen a lot of ups and downs, and I remember how much of it went down. And I keep myself, knowledgeable about those things. I'm a fan of retro gaming, so I know from the present off way back into the past. And with that experience, there's a couple of things we have to already establish as facts. But even before that, I'm just gonna spoil everything and say I agree that it is time for the pricing increase on games. Unfortunately, it's just simple facts. But let's break that down real quick. Back in the day, people think NES games were $50. No, they were new MSRP in America. I know in Canada there's different prices and there's inflation and other things to think about. But let's just keep this to America, right? That NES games were $50. Not always. Some were 40, some were 60. Around the time of Zelda 2 and Mario 2 and such, there was chip shortages, literally. So game prices were increased. Stock was low on many games. It affected the industry, the tech industry, for a little while there, like a year and a half, maybe. We exit the time of cartridges getting to disc, CD. And I remember Tekken 3 coming out, and that joint was $40. That was the first time I was able to get a big game day of, and it wasn't $50. It was $40. And then, that was a special event when that happened, but it soon became the norm for many games. $40. It was that perfect time of there's so many PlayStation 1s were sold, so many games were already sold. The manufacturing is already, much cheaper than the generation before with cartridges. So the cost was brought down to the consumer even because they were making that profit. And it was easy to drop the prices because that only helped for more sales and thus more profit even at a lower cost game. right? But as the technology got better, game prices got increased. So it went back to 50, and then 2005 with the 360 and PS3, we got $60 games. There was a lot of complaining about that, but $60 back in 2005 is, I don't know exactly what the inflation is, but it's a lot more than people think it is. It's like 120, I want to say something. I could be off from that, plus or minus $20. I'm assuming it's 120 or more. So games were expensive at that point, and PC didn't follow suit with the 60 until like Steam blew up like a couple of years after that. But games been $60 generally for 15 years. We've seen all types of stuff happen, and now games 15 years later might go up to 70. But then look who seems to be leading the charge. Crooked ass 2K. I mean, I don't even play NBA. But as a knowledgeable gamer, I keep myself up to date on all factors of gaming, even if I don't play it. I know what's up with 2K. Okay, 2K is the Madden syndrome all over again. Because they dominate, now they got lazy. There's game to game with bugs and all types of wild stuff. You spend all this money for VC, right, to update your character, but this shit don't even work right. Like, of all
what do you play most of your gaming at on 2K? Sick. Where's most of your games being played?
Most of my games are being played on Xbox.
No, on 2K. No, I'm talking on 2K. On the basketball game. Where's generally the public playing? Online, right?
Yeah.
And they don't got no dedicated service, but they the first one talking about $70.
Yep.
Don't want to invest in their own game and give you dedicated service.
Yeah.
Goddamn rip off.
It's facts. And see, as a sports guy, Lemon could talk about that to a greater detail than I can, but it's clear to myself and to everybody like myself or who's not even informed like that, to sports fans like Lemon, everybody knows what's up with this 2K series of basketball games. And so it's no surprise that 2K would be the first ones to be in on this. Not to say that this is what's going to happen, but at the same time, I recognize through time and experience that it's also time that if they so choose to increase the cost of games by $10, unfortunately, we're going to have to take that bullet. It's been a while.
Hold on. My bad. Sir X Man, we did not forget you. I'm sorry. I was going over and I had to make a bathroom break really quick, but I've not forgotten about you.
That was short.
No, hey, bro. I mean,
yo, he had the pause. I know he didn't.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's so close to the water. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're right. So anyway,
what you was squatting?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I behave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
With no hands. How about that? Can you do that? Anyway, so so Sir X Man, he said in the chat, he said save Team Lock and Black Lives Matter. Damn right, man. I really appreciate it. You know what? And that is wild for me because every time that I think about you, you know what I'm saying, I know that you're a brother, but you listen to hard rock, and only thing every time that when you say something like that, it makes me think of 5 Finger Death Punch.
I love that band.
Well, you know what? What? Y'all know about that?
I know about that.
Deadly Venoms?
No.
5 Fingers of Death?
No.
5 Fingers of Death?
No.
Listen,
what?
Those
What
are
is
kung
it?
fu movies, and I love those. 5 Finger Death Punch. It's a band. It's a metal band.
Yeah.
What kind of band is it?
I think it's a metal.
Metal. 5 Finger Death Punch.
Nah.
Yeah.
I was talking about the movies.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. You was on,
The movies.
Hey, Limit was on my style on my status when he said that. He said that, like, I was like, look, I got a white wife, and I still don't know who the hell that is. I don't know. What are you doing? What is that? And
That's
so
a heavy metal.
I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I sung it on a stream a couple of weeks ago, and yeah.
Appreciate Sleepy.
So,
Good band.
What is it? What does Sleepy say? 5 Finger is so great. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna put you in the same category as our boy Op. I have no idea when that's done. I'm just fucking with you. Anyway, music is music. Love music. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just giving Sir X Man a hard time.
That they did years back at ironically at EVO.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Either way, yeah. So
that's my favorite song in rock right there. That's my favorite.
Now, let me just drop a couple of little random facts because people are debating about this on Twitter, and on a couple of facts that kind of burns.
Nigga stupid.
Wow, ridiculous. But
Go ahead,
there's a lot of these little arguments that we're having about this on Twitter, and let me just drop some facts that would help kill a lot of the argument and get down to brass tacks. Simply, like, yo, first of all, there's inflation, bro. You remember these Neo Geo games were ridiculous cost, right? You remember that cartridges cost a lot of money, right? You remember that they had that chip shortage for a couple of years, a year and a half, right? You know, they were NES games, like I said, were $50, $60, but once they started adding that RAM and them MMC mappers and larger size ROMs, especially when ROMs was hard to find, those games went up to $60, $65 or more, and there was only like 4 or 5 dudes working on the one game. So you would think all the money went into the pockets of these companies, but no, those chips cost so much, and it took so much time. 5 dudes, they were killing themselves, working crazy hours. You hear about crunch? That's all they did was crunch back in them days. These machines were slow, and they had to be innovative and creative to make art and games that people wanted to enjoy on those things, and that cost so much money, and like 5 dudes was doing it. And extrapolate that out to today as a magnified out with how much money is being spent. The Slip Space engine, $500 million goddamn dollars. How many people, artists, programmers, concept designers, all of it. Animators, music, textures. Oh my, it goes on and on. Some of the greatest aspects of the technology that a human race can develop in computing technology is created through games, but it affects other things, military technology and all types of shit we're not even really going to get into. So there's a lot of money being spent. 15 years on, the brass tax is going to go from 60 to 70. Of course, a crooked company is going to be the one to beat that drum first, but it's coming one way or another. So be on the lookout. And I also think one last thing. In some kind of messed up way, these companies like EA and such were seeing their massive profits drop from when they were making good in iterations of Need for Speed, and they started getting, samey with those games, like in particular example, right? And they needed more money, so they started doing the nickel and diming with the what do you call loot boxes and stuff. Look at the names who are the worst with that stuff. The usual suspects: EA, Activision. You already know the names of the others. 2K, definitely. Okay? Because they were looking at their profit margins and they were starting to get a little slim. So how do you pad that out? They went to loot boxes, and then that got real ridiculous, and they learned that from the mobile arena, and they put that in. So these folks is looking like they need to make more money. That's another reason why, we're going to spend the $10 more per game next gen. Be prepared for it. It's a hard pill to swallow, but that's just what the facts is. I'm not making excuses for the industry, and there's a lot of things I've seen on Twitter and people making fair points, but in the end, there's no excuse. There's no not excusing, but avoiding this fact that these games cost a lot of money. It take a lot of time, a lot of investment. This is why they try to milk every game, because one big major flop enough, all that money you spent, that hurt the company for a while if the next games after that don't fill in that gap. So the industry costs a lot of money. So I'm ranting a little now, but I think I've made my point.
Okay, nice. All right, so Livewire, what is your thoughts on this, man? I mean, like, is it time for this increase, or is it at the point that, like, some people are saying that the industry is just becoming just too greedy?
Thank you very much, Live. God bless.
Oh my God, Bloody didn't do the thing though.
Bloody's not here. I don't know if Bloody dropped out or what. I don't know, but
no, he said he had to go, but he's not here anymore to do the thing for him.
Okay. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. Since Live will come in and say, oh yeah, you know what, I was doing this. No, we're just gonna. I asked you, so hopefully because we got one more topic after this. So I'm gonna go to you, Op. What is it that what is your thoughts on this, man? Is it time for this type of increase, or is it that the companies are just being too greedy?
In my personal opinion, this is long overdue. And this comes from a person who likes saving money on video games at this point.
Yeah, we lucky right now.
Yeah, like let's be honest, because like there's been stagnation in price for over 2 decades, but about 2 decades,
Facts.
2
Facts.
decades at this point.
Yeah,
like we really should have been at 80 at this point. We should have been at 70. Like
all right, he shut his mic off.
let that man talk. Let that man talk.
We should have been at $80 by now, but we're getting 70, so we're getting an easy way out at this point. But like me personally, my personal, like everybody react this how I expect them to be, and it's funny because like EA or Activision, whichever one, I think it was 2K, are kicking off with NBA, the next iteration of that being 70, and like this is probably like the worst way to roll out a price hike for video games. It's the industry as a whole at this point. Like you chose, like this is the most controversial company out there, and they're first to announce they're doing a price hike with their game. Like this could not have been a worse inception, in my personal opinion.
Well,
like,
there's somebody
breaking out except that.
Hey, there's somebody.
They wouldn't look wrong about it. At this point.
I'm sorry, but Kudrow agrees with you. He says, "Bro, we're already at 80."
No, we're not. That's voluntary money.
Yeah, that's voluntary.
Special editions don't count.
But in his country, you see, that's another point that we haven't put in factor, like Canada and other places in
I purposely avoided that. Yeah,
right. Like he's saying we're already there. So so go ahead, Op. I just wanted to just make that point. I didn't mean to really interrupt you.
I think that's a good point. Like people in some people's countries, of course, currencies work differently. So like I guess compared to metrics, they may pay more.
That's why I avoided it. It's too complex.
Yeah, it's very complex, very nuanced. I don't want to get into that shit because I'm not well versed in it. But like, yeah, me personally, a price hike is long overdue at this point. And like, yes, it's unfortunate. We want to save money, but here's the thing: if you don't want to pay $70 at launch, wait for a damn sale. Like, do what most people do: just wait, or just wait for Game Pass at this point. Like,
you can get it back to $60 though. Op.
Say again.
You can get it back to $60.
Exactly.
Community start talking with their wallets and be like, we ain't spending that money. They'll drop the price.
At this point. There's definitely options for them. And if they don't want to do it, don't buy it. Like it's a capitalistic market.
They go to $80. I'm waiting for a sale.
Right. So there are definitely options for people at this point. But some of the arguments against the price hike I've seen are some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. Like they're almost as dumb as the microtransaction crowd out there. Like people are saying like these companies make billions of revenue, so there's no excuse for the price hike. One, first off, revenue and profit are two different things at this point.
Right.
Two, we don't even know the full equation of what goes into
exactly my point. Yeah.
Like we know close to nothing. I'm telling you right now, in this day and age, physical distribution is a bitch and a half at this point. As far as just the
GameStop makes $3 on a game sale. Physical.
Like people were surprised how many different ways of money actually goes into making these video games as well. Like all it does not go straight back to the publisher and the developers. It gets split amongst everybody who's involved in it at this point. Even down to the damn truck drivers at this point, delivering the game copies back and forth to the stores and manufacturers. Like the people really got to understand, have an open mind towards this. Like gaming is got more expensive over the years. Like it really snowballed as far as how expensive it got because they have to keep up with the players' demand at this point. We wanted more, we wanted better. They had to keep up with it. So what happened after that? The cost like skyrocketed going forward from the early 2000s up until now. So in order to keep up with the rising costs, they got to do a price hike with it. So like this is really not the course of everything in my personal opinion.
Economics 101.
Pretty much. Like it's really just supply and demand at this point. People just don't want to pay the money because they're fucking cheap. Well, not everybody. Most people are cheap.
No, it's reality.
Right. And some cheapness though. I ain't gonna front.
Sir X-Man in the chat said you need to listen to Jekyll and Hyde. Listen, I read the books. I'm good. All right, so
you all right, bro? You talk about
No. He because I was going back. I'm a little late because he was talking about the Five Finger Death Punch band. So
you got a whole other conversation over there.
Yeah.
They in their own lane.
Price hike is inevitable.
Shout out to him. I love techno jungle beats. So I mean, and I know a lot of people thinking that stuff is
and y'all still having this musical conversation? Let's talk about Pop Smoke new album On Fire. Go get that.
I just got that. Yeah.
It's on fire.
Pop
Smoke. Thank you, 50.
Who Pop Smoke?
Let's not get into this.
I don't even know.
Yeah, he already dead anyway.
Hey man, listen. You already know I know music because y'all didn't even know who I was playing at the beginning of the intro. Y'all was like, "Whoa, what's that?" Watch your mouth, sucker. Anyways,
Where you come from might have been a company, might have made a group called Popcorn. Popcorn.
Hey man, it was slamming like hot cakes and like hot cakes with hot butter. Anyway, PK, what is your situation? I mean, what's your thought process about this? The $10 situation? Is it are you in the crowd that's saying like, look, this is too much, they're trying to gouge us, or are you saying like the other group is that, look, I mean, it's long overdue. I mean, games keep increasing, and so of course these prices are going to raise up. I mean, I definitely want to hear your thoughts about this because I mean you've been quiet in the chat until towards the end, so I definitely want to hear it. What do you think?
So, looking at a high level, the rest of the world pays more for gaming than we do in America.
Really? See, I didn't know
We
that.
spend more money on
It
gaming,
depends.
but
Depends on the dollar.
like for
difference.
instance,
Yeah, but
in
more times than not,
Australia,
of course.
Let PK break that down. Go ahead, explain.
in Australia, their games are $100 a piece. And their game consoles, like say for instance, the Xbox One, $400 here or $300 here was $700 in Australia.
But it's 700 in their money, not ours.
No, it's 700 in ours.
Oh my God! I'm glad I live here.
Word.
Oh, I thought it was in their money.
I'm not telling you. This is definitely not conversion. This is straight up what it would cost.
That's different.
if
Yeah,
we
that's
spent
different ball game.
money. That's why. I have a friend who left here and lives in Australia. He tells me the hardships all the time. It's just too expensive. He usually tries to get someone to import him games, but since they have a different electrical system, he has to get a converter.
They got 40 hertz. 40 hertz.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean 50.
Canada,
I meant to say 50.
automatically pays $10 more for everything.
Damn.
That's US dollars. They already paying 70. So 74 with tax. But the point I'm making is everyone is already paying more. Even Japan, at the minimum, pays 65 USD. At the minimum. But it's actually 70 on a regular.
Phantom Kraken says, true, I'm in Panama and we use US dollars and my game are already
Hey, Panama. My family's over there.
So
$69.99. $69.99 and with tax, $74. $74. So
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start to do some more giveaways on 108 Dragons TV, man.
Hey, my boy.
Oh my God! Yeah, my heart goes out to gamers.
Our boy. Hey, and this is an exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. We kind of got an idea of what nationality our boy Op is. He said he got family in Panama.
I was like, that shit. I was quick to know. I was like,
And Sir X Man says Lemon reminds me of Disco Duck. I don't know. But anyway, go ahead, PK. I don't know.
So I'm just saying that, the rest of the world's already been paying this kind of price. We just spend more money on the product, but we don't pay their high-end prices, though. So for us to be introduced to this, I know it's a shock to the system, but it's the norm all the way around the world. And on the other end of it, this just makes the services and digital more important because they can sell the digital copies at a cheaper price.
They're not.
They can, and they do sales.
No, they can, but they're not.
Well, let's back up.
Yep.
Let's back up.
Talk to him, PK.
They have dropped plenty of games that have been cheaper, and I can make an example on Nintendo that have been cheaper digitally than it is physically. Now, I'm not saying the first-party games, but definitely third-party.
I was going to go there.
But definitely third-party games. So my thing is they can, but what's really important is that is what's going to make these services be more valuable, such as Game Pass, because you don't have to pay the high dollar amount to play these games on day one. And it brings more value to the games on Game Pass since you're only paying the subscription fee. That's going to bring the value up. You're going to see way more games on Game Pass. Don't believe that these developers are not getting compensated for their games on Game Pass. That matters. So
No, they
yes.
get compensated. Facts.
So there's going to be way more games introduced to Game Pass, and there's going to be more value. So there's going to be more subscription added. So that's what's going to press us more into the digital future of less physical copies of games, period. And we're going to have more of a Steam-like sale on our consoles than ever before. And I'm using quotations, you can't see it, but Steam-like sale meaning, yes, any game you put on a wish list, you'll get a notification saying, hey, this thing went on sale. It's now this much. Yes, you're probably going to buy it at that point. But I see it as it's a shock to the American system, but honestly, it's not a big deal. Other countries been doing it for the longest of time, so let's be real. If you really wanted it, you're gonna buy it anyways. What's $70 when people are dropping V-Bucks on a free game such as Fortnite? Okay, they spend more than that in a month on Fortnite, which is a free game, and people are complaining about $70. People buy battle passes on a game they already own.
Facts. Talk.
But it's for the content. It's for extra content.
Nope.
It's not
108. 108. Don't do that. Don't do that, Lemon. Nope. You're wrong, Lemon.
It's not for extra content.
Battle
passes on Call of Duty.
Nope.
Most of the battle passes.
It is content. What are you talking about?
Most of the battle passes are just cosmetics.
Thank you.
No. Not all of them.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
think nobody here plays more of these games than me.
Bro, I was playing it. I was playing it last night and tonight. I was playing it last night for 6 hours straight.
I'm just saying the games that makes the most money on these battle passes, such as Fortnite and what's the game?
Overwatch. Overwatch makes the most money, and all of that is cosmetic.
But
all of that is cosmetic.
I agree, but I'm saying, what's the other one that does the battle pass?
Apex, yes.
So
and PUBG, and PUBG.
But I'm saying
is cosmetic.
But I'm saying they spend
and Battlefield 5.
So I'm not arguing about whatever
Battlefield 5 is content.
My point is, people spend money on these seasons. They spend money on these seasons, but they already own the game. So my point is, they're already spending the extra money. It's not a big deal for I can understand a single player title, $70 for 15 hours. That might be a big deal, but at the same time, this is the norm for everyone else. It's either it's either you're excited to buy the game or you're not, and it's not going to stop you. I mean, yes, like you said, the collector's editions and the season passes bought with the game is voluntary, but let's be real. It is still there to be purchased, and every other country still pays the taxes of the $10 more, and in Australia, $30 more. So it's not unheard of, and it's not going to stop anybody from buying games. They're just complaining right now. It's kind of like in the beginning of this generation when they were complaining about games being digital, and people swore up and down they will never buy digital games. Yet 80% of all games bought today is now digital.
Yep, it raised up. It was a 73 by the end of last year. Yeah, so
as we go forward, people, they might complain. I mean, especially here in America, because they're not used to it.
They complain about everything. Gas go up 30 cents.
Oh my God. Yeah, so of course.
Oh my God.
But if
30, it went up 30 cents.
But if they look at it in a lens at a high level, they'll see that that's the norm across the entire world except for here. Oh, if you go South America, it's definitely $80. So it's not unheard of. But it will be fine.
Look at the whole Brazil situation.
It'll be fine. Once everybody starts doing it, it'll be fine. Everybody forget about it because everybody was complaining about $60, right? It went from 50 to 60 and everybody was complaining for a while, but then it just became the norm.
Also, Kudrow said, plus in Quebec, you have to add an extra 15% on taxes on top of the $80 for the game.
Yes. So
Yikes.
it's definitely
Woo!
that's why a lot of people, my friends in other countries, try to get me to get them their games and ship it to them because it's cheaper. It's cheaper than actually buying it from their shops. It's insanity like that.
Right. And
But
Kudastina, I'm sorry, I just wanted to make this point because I didn't give a shout out to my girl Kudastina. She said not bad, still a bit more than what I paid for Resident Evil 2, so I might wait and see how Black Friday fares. So I don't know if she was talking about.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I was telling her that Resident Evil 3 was on sale on Steam for $40, and she was like, "Oh, not
Oh
bad."
no! I mean that's the point that I wanted to make. I'm gonna let PK finish because I can't wait to get to my point, and I know that I still got
and that right there highlights it is
right.
Resident Evil 3 comes with 2 games anyway. It's 2 games in one. You buy 1 game, you get 2 games.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't know that, but but that's my point is digitally they can give you a sale just to get you to buy the game because they don't have to it's easier to I don't know if you ever guys had that ever been to a retail store and they said we got 20% off, but what they did was raise the price 20%, and you think you're getting a sale, but it's actually you're just paying regular price. That's kind of the idea. So if they're charging $70 physically, they can easily say, well, if you buy it digitally or pre-order digitally, let's say pre-order, you can save like Amazon guarantees you 20% off any brand new game you pre-order. Guarantees it if you're a Prime member. If you pre-order it. Just think about that. That's a subscription. They can easily shoe that in to any of their subscriptions going forward. If you pre-order this, you'll get this much off. Matter of fact, they started doing that now on Microsoft Store on PC. If you pre-order Gears Tactics, you got it for 45 instead of 50. So it is possible to do that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
You just have to be a smart shopper. That's
Just
all.
gotta be
Pay
a smart.
attention.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention. All right. So who did I miss? Who did I not go to?
Livewire, I think you said it.
Well, Livewire is muted. So Livewire, are you there yet? Because I came to you.
Then it would be Lemon.
All right. I came to you, and I went to you a while back, and you was just like.
I didn't go either.
Oh, you didn't go. Okay. So
yeah, that's what I said.
So I'm gonna go to Lemon, and then I'll get to Livewire. So Lemon, go ahead. Let me hit you up. What is your thoughts about the whole pricing thing? I mean, now since you've heard what PK had to say.
PK said what I said on 100 show, but
you did.
EA 57% of their sales. We talked about this on 100 show, right?
Right. Yeah.
That 57% of their sales was digital, and they ain't dropped the price of nothing.
No.
Could they? Of course. There's no digitals, there's no hard copies, but they're not.
Well, but look what they did on Steam.
Making money.
But hold on. But look at what they did on Steam. All their games is $10 now.
Steam don't count because
older games too.
I know that.
Steam
but
been doing that for years. Steam does not count on console. We talk about console, can't talk about PC because PC have crackhead sales. We know this.
What's going on right now?
They
That's
do
a whole
not. We
different
talk about consoles. We can't talk about PC and be like,
PC
oh,
don't
it's
have,
digital. No.
Steam don't have crackhead sales.
What?
Every summer it's happening right now.
Every
Okay,
summer you bugging.
Whoa. Okay, so hold on. I got to make this.
Oh, wow.
I got to put you on blast on this. Okay,
Blast, you're wrong. Every summer they got the summer sale and they be having crackhead sales.
Okay, so you got.
I gotta teach you PC 101, bro.
So this is where you and Slayer are wrong on this. Okay, so you talk about one sale, what PC does, which actually PC gives you 2 sales a year.
There's 2 big sales a year.
2 big sales a year. Xbox, PlayStation gives you more sales per year
But not to
Yes.
crackhead
Yes.
level what the Steam sale is. That's just different.
Slayer, let
Not
me
the
finish.
crackhead level. You're not gonna do that.
No, I
Games
will.
for $4.99. That's
No,
AAA.
that's bullshit. That's not true.
Exactly.
That's not true because Xbox and PlayStation have given.
Yeah, once in a blue it does happen, but it's
no,
rare.
No,
it's
it's not rare. PlayStation right now got a sale for 75% off for games. Xbox just had a sale, and I guarantee you they'll have another sale coming up here right after they do their announcement where they're going to have 50 to 60% off. They got a sale right now for certain games. They have way more sales than what Steam or Epic has at this point in time.
I didn't say they don't have as
way
many.
more
But
sales,
I said
bro. I keep
crackhead sales. Like they games be like $1.99.
Hey, I'm being real. I'm being real, bro. I always stop for the bargain. I'm still waiting for a certain game to get in the right price so I can get it, which is Attack on Titan. I refuse to buy Attack on Titan, even the first game, at the proper price. Yeah, I'm not. That's too goddamn much. Too goddamn much.
Never drop. And I mean,
yeah, it don't drop. That's what. Yeah,
games don't
they're bitching about their sales.
What I'm saying is, I'm not even talking about just a sale. I'm really just talking about when the game come out. They shouldn't be charging for the digital $65 because they're not selling no hard copy.
Oh, you talking about
just the initial sale? Not.
Okay.
I'm just initial when it comes out. I'm not talking about like because Microsoft and them got 75% off. I know they do that. But what I'm saying is.
Right.
They're not gonna release it in the store for $60, right? And then they turn around.
This is why brick and mortar. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I mean, I'm passionate about this. I want to kind of get my point out of it. My old lady comes out here. She says, "What they're yelling about?" And I'm saying because of the fact that what you coming in here for? What you want? Podcast is still going, woman. Okay, go ahead, Lemon. I'm sorry. Let me hear what my wife's got to say. Yeah, I'm positive. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying
yes, my love.
What I'm saying is, say Madden comes out, right? They're not gonna have Madden, like I said the other day. They're not gonna have Madden in the store for $70, but you buy it digital, we give it to you for $50. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. That will eliminate the stores immediately.
But Lemon, let's back up. They already do that with their subscription service.
Listen, but son, we talking about a regular game sale. We talking about a regular game sale. We ain't talking about Game Pass. Game Pass is a bargain. We know that. I'm talking about when a game drops day one. They are not doing that. They're not doing that. And nobody in here can tell me they've done that. Not one game has done that. 2K will never do that.
Yeah, last of the list.
They will never. Call of Duty will never. It will be 65 or 70 in the store, and it's going to be 65 and 70 digitally. They're not doing that. Why would they cut their own throats? And you're going to make people buy digital. Parents are going to say, if I just go home and download it, it's $50. Why would they do that?
They won't mess up the game or nothing.
Why would they do it though? You still can get the digital and the hard copy for the same price. Why would they drop it? That don't make business sense. Not when people are going out there buying these games for the same price digitally. Now, it's like 2K. Let me tell you something about 2K. I'm a hard 2K player. I'm playing it right now. But what's crazy is people go to the store and look for the D-Wade edition, right? They look for, the special editions that's no longer hard copy in stock. Okay, but those games are available all year round digital. You still got people going out there buying hard copies. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't get that special version. They're not gonna cut themselves, man. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna cut their own throat. It makes no financial sense. Yeah, they should have more digital sales, and more sales hit Xbox and PlayStation and the Switch store than it does GameStop and any other medium. Yes, they do that. They do that way more frequently, and it's getting more and more better every year. But they're never going to cut their own throat. Not day one sales. Because at one point, you can get Division 2 for $3.99. We've seen that. But you got to realize that's a first. That don't happen all the time on console. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna cut their own throat, man. And it is time for us to step up financially with these games. But like I told K Mega the other day, every game don't warrant $70. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that shit. Don't try to make it like a market, because y'all not all putting that type of money into your game. I don't want to hear that. Keanu Reeves ain't in every game. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that. Don't try to sell me a 70 game and it's a goddamn a game that don't deserve $70. Halo on them, God of War. Okay, we know the work go into those games. Don't give me no goddamn bug snacks and you talking about $70 this next gen. You can go kill yourself. You must be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it a market medium with you know, with every game. Don't just make it a general statement. If you want to charge, because I buy a lot of collector's edition, $150 or $200 to $300. I buy them. But what I'm saying is, don't make it a market standard and you selling me Rocket League for $70. You can, I ain't with that. We're not doing that. That's what I'm saying. We're not doing that. Not at all.
I got you. Great point. I agree. I agree with that. Livewire, what's your point on this? We got one more topic, and then we can head it home. But what's your thought?
I thought we had 3 topics tonight. Oh no, EVO.
Yeah, it was EVO was the last topic. What up, man? What do you think about the $70, man?
I ain't got no issue with it, man. I got Game Pass, dog.
Ooh,
This guy's stupid.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey man, he's being real about it.
Game Pass.
All right.
I got Game Pass, and I don't. And to be honest, most of the games that I buy nowadays, I usually buy my PlayStation games on sale. I mean, for the most part, depending on what they are. And my ex, like I didn't get Spider-Man until it was like $20 for the complete edition. What was the other thing? And I buy a lot of indies, but now I ain't really gotta buy them no more. Not like that, because they be in Game Pass. So unless it's like something I really like, a Cyberpunk or whatnot, I'll get that. You know what I mean? But again, I buy a lot of games, but I don't always have to get everything game day one. Shoot, I still ain't beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey, man. I don't even think I'm nowhere near beating that game. I mean,
Game is huge.
You're not. Trust me. Yeah. How many hours you put in the Odyssey so far?
Probably like 50.
Nah,
oh my God,
bruh, nah, man. Nah.
You can't just do the story. That's what I've been trying to do.
Nah, you can't.
Child of God said something. He said, "K Mega, you better go to bed before you sleep on the couch, my brother." Hey, bro, no. I'm good.
Yeah,
Jesus.
My wife was over here trying to tease me for some reason. She was over here trying to.
Yo, why we gotta hear this?
Pulled pork, man.
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
And tan.
Jesus.
And tan. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens. I don't know. I'm just telling you. I'll teach you.
Tell her take her ass in the room. Tanning ass. Go your ass in the room.
TMI, bro.
Focus over here.
We
trying to break our focus.
All right, go ahead. Livewire. Go ahead and finish up. I'm sorry, bro. Is he done? Did he go away?
He did now.
All right,
Fuck it, dog.
All right, cool. All right, so I want to make my point on this, and then we can go on to the last topic, and that is, okay, so if you haven't ever, and I'm sorry, Twitch guys, but I'm gonna have to hit this. This is the first time I've seen this pop up, and it says I have to do a 60-second ad break. So I'm gonna hit it. But you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hit that shit. I'm gonna hit it. Boom. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, don't say nothing important. Meanwhile,
yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing important while the time's here. Well, I'm gonna say keep finish what I'm saying. Okay, so it's 50.
Well, they can rewind it. God damn it.
Yeah, they can rewind it. Okay, so what I gotta say on this?
I'll try for you, fellas. Sorry.
All right, I don't know nothing about Twitch, but it's flashing this thing about 60-second ad. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. All right, so this is the thing. For me. Me and Fonzarelli, when Fonzarelli was first on the show, Fonzarelli was adamant about microtransactions, about all of this stuff. And I told you, people who's been with GRG from the very beginning You know I said this. You know I've never relented, and I've never changed my thought process on this. That you're going to pay one way or the other. The gaming industry is going to find a way to get that money. Once gamers start to allow themselves to start paying for microtransactions and what for season passes or whatever back into the in last gen, that opened Pandora's box. Gamers didn't shut that down right there. I'm back. Thank you guys. I'm sorry about that. But it came back. You know what I'm saying? And so now gamers didn't complain about that. When I was one of the first gamers back then that was complaining about what was going on with Street Fighter Cross Tekken when they were hiding characters and you couldn't get them the old-fashioned way by
The
just
ones
playing
that
the
was
game.
already on the disc.
Right, that were already
Yeah,
that were
on the
already
disc already.
available, and that you couldn't earn them. You had to buy them.
Only
Gamers
way.
didn't complain about that. Gamers did not complain about that.
Well, they did, but
No, they did.
that
They
was the
did.
whole
They did.
era
They
of
did.
Crapcom, you know?
But yeah, they did, but their voice was so minute. Our voices were so minute. People still bought those characters, and then the COD era changed everything. Call of Duty era changed everything of how gamers was looking to how well developers and how publishers were trying to make money. And then EA tried to take it to the next level with Battlefront 2 and just try to exploit.
One and two.
Well, 2 mostly. 2 they just really they just kind of just blatantly threw it out there. And then you
Right.
can even throw it out there for Shadow of War. And they just blatantly just like, look, man, pay this money, go ahead and do this. We got you. Whatever. For a skin, whatever. And the gamers finally revolted in the right way, which made EA and the developers that did which from WB Monolith changed their perspective because the gamers fought that like that's where it's going too far. Even the gaming media was like, look, that shit is way too extravagant. So that changed. But I told Fonzarelli, I kept it always about what was going to happen coming in here. And I've said this a million times, even in my last video, when I was talking about The Last of Us 2. About and I'm gonna add this little part to it as well, and then this could be a little round table before we get to our last topic. Is anybody could jump in? Is that what I said with The Last of Us 2? Game is 25 hours. I've heard the most that people have stretched the game out was 35. That game is $70. Other people has bought collector's editions. They paid everything else to it, but it's a $60 game for a pretty much 18-hour, if you're not trying to get all the extra stuff, 18-hour game. Yeah, the game is graphically beautiful. It has a lot of detail, all of that. But The Last of Us 2 is 18 hours. There's no replay value. You pay $60 for it. Is that worth the price of admission? And the more and more we hear from other gamers, I just listened to Angry Joe's review.
Yeah.
And I just listen to Angry Joe's. I listen to the Quartermans. I listen to
The Quarterman.
The Quarterman is completely
Yeah, that guy is something else.
He's completely opposite of what my political stance is. But I listen to all different types of people's stance on everything, on everybody's perspective of this, other than these journalists and these other people that's gave it a 100 score about. And how divisive that game is story wise. There's no replay value.
Of course not.
There's no replay value, and then people are trying to give this game away. And now I see at EB Store that game is only $40 right now because there's so many people giving that game back because they're done with it, and they're just done, or they're tired, or they're upset because of the story, or whatever it could be. if you're trying to do this now to where where Sony is going to give you these single player experiences without any type of open world aspects, anything like this is what I think Livewire and I think PK alluded to as well, was that if you try to bring these games at $70, people are going to hold back on first day sales. They're not going to jump all in unless that's a game that they actually love. And I told Fontarelli and I told him back then, about 2-3 years ago when we first started GRG, when he was a part of the family. What's going to be the new era in gaming is services and features. Services is going to be the new standard. We were talking, the xCloud wasn't even called xCloud then, it was called Project something. I forgot what it was called then. I said, we already hearing rumors about Capcom starting their own service. We already got EA Access. We hear these rumors about Xbox trying to do a service of their own, which now we know is Game Pass. Services, all these other Ubisoft is going to do theirs. You see Epic Games is going to get ready to try to implement some kind of crazy thing. Listen, services, Ubisoft is going to do their own. Services and features is going to be the thing, because we all know what the people want, what these consoles especially, what they want isn't about just buying a whole bunch of games. They want to get
that long money.
They want that long money. And on top of that long, stable money, and they know the casual market only buys 2 to 5 games per year. Not everybody on this panel that's hardcore, the people that listen to the gaming podcast all around, from whoever, from dealers to craps to next gens to whoever. We are a different breed. We're the hardcore. We're going to buy games at an abundance. But for the casual out there, and even some of those people that listen to all our podcasts, they're only going to buy 2 to 5 games per year. You add a different $10 to that shit, those people they're not going to jump in. You already hear what some of the people on the panel has already said. They're not going to jump on that. They're not down for that. I don't care. I already knew that we're like 25 years, damn near 30 years away from actually having games go up in price. And when we hear other people around the world that's already paying these high prices, they're saying about fucking time. So therefore, look, Lemon, you said this. You were the first person to say this that I know. Gaming is an expensive hobby.
Facts.
Gaming is expensive. You guys have been out there preaching and begging and pleading for the best of AAA experiences. You guys have been asking for all of the, you want consoles to be on par with PC. You guys have been saying y'all want all these other crazy features like ray tracing and everything else. And now I see people out here bitching and complaining that y'all don't want to pay for it. I mean that's what they've been doing.
But what was the slogan of the day? Welcome to high end.
Welcome to high end. Welcome to high end. Everybody wants to keep talking about high end PCs and that, I could just jump over to PC and I could get the same experience on with Xbox because all their games are not exclusive. They're on Xbox. Well, you ain't playing them games if you got a fucking
not on that toaster you run in. Hell
no. Not on that damn toaster. Not if you got an HP Bavarian or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Or a laptop that can't even get you 720p graphics. That shit ain't gonna work for you, bro.
Can you get down? Get down.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the reality is going to be. It's going to be the haves and the have-nots, and the reality is going to hit a lot of people. And you know what's going to be funny overall is that they're going to be begging for PlayStation, and you hope that PlayStation will add services, that welfare program that they keep saying about Game Pass, that will be begging for that welfare service. They'll be begging for that. Or What you're going to see is a lot of people frauding the public, talking about games or consoles that they don't own because in the name of their ass being too cheap or economically they just can't do it. And they're still wolfing those tickets about what I got, what they can't. Because I see a lot of people now trying to make this analogy about, oh, if you ain't played The Last of Us 2, you shouldn't talk about it. Bitch, I've seen you talk about Halo 5, Quantum Break, Rise, what's that other game? Dead Rising 3, Halo
He
Master
said,
Chief.
bitch.
Yeah, no, I just had to be real. Bitch, I've seen them talk about this shit, about all these games, Record,
A whole
Sea of
laundry
Thieves,
list,
all
man.
these
You
games,
go on
a
forever.
laundry list of games, and they don't even own an Xbox. So then you're gonna tell Xbox gamers that they can't even open their mouth and they say something about The Last of Us because it's diverse, or that people aren't liking the story enough? You're frauds. And there are going to be a lot more people being exposed because when you see people like Lemon, you see people like me, you see people like Slayer, PK, you'll see Livewire, you'll see all the bunch of people that'll sit there and they'll buy PlayStation 5s and help support gaming as a gamer and play on those games. And if we don't like them, we don't like them. If we don't care about buying them, we just don't. But the one point is that you still didn't get an Xbox because you wanted to be diehard this or diehard that, and same with the Xbox stands out there that want to sit there and diss on PlayStation. Your ass still got a 720p TV. You just upgraded to a 1080p TV, but you're talking about I got to buy this $500 console. Bitch, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're gonna buy the cheapest shit, and you're gonna throw whatever services on there. That's what I wanted to say. Is that a lot of people are fraud the public, and they're going to get caught. They're going to get caught into their fraud talking. All of these people that's been getting all of these subs, all of these talking about, and people been listening to them like as though they've been taught that they know what the hell that they're talking about. All of their narratives have been dying. It's been a fraud. A fraud. So
Yeah, like all these people that got these high-end PCs, knowing that they don't.
Nobody got to high-end PC.
Went to Best Buy and you bought a $700 PC and you call yourself a PC gamer.
Yeah, no. That's the whole point about it. Is that look, I ain't the type of person to try to knock on people's financial situations.
Budget,
because,
right?
Yeah, on budget.
We're talking about the frauds.
But we're talking about the frauds. I'm just saying, look, these people are really tripping. Stop it. Stop it with the hate. And now gaming is going to be ridiculous now
that's like
going
an 8,
to the next
level. You know, that's above your station.
Right. So when these consoles if these consoles are $500, then you have the Lockhart and you got the PlayStation the PlayStation SATA or Sade, as my boy Fred would say, without the disc, and those are $400 or less, then where do you think the majority of the gamers are going to go to? That's all I'm saying. They're going to get the cheaper version. And a lot of people is going to go and stick with the PlayStation 4 and with the Xbox One because they're not trying to pay that type of money. They'd rather just go. And then the whole talk of power, narrative, and greatness and all this stuff. And then all these people was talking about they don't want to be left behind. They should be left behind. Listen. I've listened to so many Xbox gamers when I first got. I was a day one Xbox One console gamer, and I had to see a lot of my friends just kind of go away because they weren't gonna pay that $500 for the X1. And then on top of that, the chat aspect of it, like. They separated the Xbox One chat from the 360 chat, which is a fail. We don't know if PlayStation is going to do the same thing with the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 chat, because that's a possibility too. That's something people they have to put in perspective as well. And a lot of people just said, I'm just going to wait. And they waited 6 months to a year. And then by that time, Xbox was looked at as shit from media and everybody else. And a lot of people just jumped over because the PlayStation was cheaper. So this is a serious situation that needs to come out. And then when you got games that's this expensive, services is going to be the new king, because a lot of people go like, shit, I ain't gonna buy 2K for $100 just to go ahead and wait till next. I'm not gonna do that. They're not gonna do it. There will be people that will get it, but they'll play them on the old consoles at the regular price for $59.99. And you guys know that I'm right. So anyway, I just wanted to make that last point. Let's get to the last topic. Let's get the hell out of here. We're going to be over 3 hours, but I had to just make that point because it just bothered me. It just bothered me like there's so many people that just frauds on this shit, and they keep talking and begging and bitching and complaining about, well, no, we can't. No. They should never change the pricing schemes of it. You've asked for this. How can you complain about it now? You've asked for gaming to be at a higher level. You asked for this. Man. And I got one more point on this at the end of the show to bring that on home about this last topic. But we're going to finish this up with the old EVO situation. So, now, PK. This is it. EVO. A lot of controversy, man. A lot of people are dropping out of EVO. EVO almost looked like it's about to be dropped.
EVO.
What call it? The person that was in charge of EVO, he's got caught up into some stuff about pedophilia. There's a lot of Smash people that's been caught up in a lot of controversy as well. One gentleman, he admitted that he had sexual relations with a younger with a woman with a girl under 18. There is a woman, actual woman that's close to 30 years old that's actually had sexual relations with a 14-year-old. That's on video. There is another situation where there is a there's a gentleman that said that he was going to kill himself because he had a sexual relationship with another gentleman that was a part of the Smash team. There was another Smash team, and he was going to kill himself. He's smashing. But the other person said that that's not true. There's more information that needs to come out there. And then there's another situation that's going on where another person has sexually assaulted someone else. What the hell is going on with EVO, PK? Why is it that there's so many people that is caught up into these scandals, and especially the head, Mr. Wizard, that has been caught now, and there's been so many people that's got information about him doing pedophilia with young boys. What the hell is going on, PK? Tell us. Is this the end of EVO? What's going to happen with EVO? He said,
oh boy, clear that throat. Here we go. It's all you, PK.
No, I'm a little hesitant to get into this because we're almost at our 4-hour mark, and this ain't one of those.
We're 3:0 mark, 3:01. So go ahead.
I'm just saying that this is pretty in depth. I understand. It's pretty interesting. I'm just hesitant to get into it, so I just want to make sure we, if we talk about it, we gotta talk about it. That's all I'm saying. We got.
Let's go, PK. Let's go.
If you don't want to around it, but hold on. If you don't want to talk about it, just say you don't want to talk about it, and then I'll just let the panel go, and then I'll come back to you about the last part that you wanted to talk about with Smash Brothers new characters and things like that. So if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I got you.
So, as far as the CEO of EVO, or the organizer, getting suspended for the accusations, I mean, he did a lot of stuff. He didn't just. It was just somebody that I know came out. He decided that he wanted to live his truth. It seemed like a lot of people decided to live their truth, aka August Alsina. If you don't know about that, then I won't get into it. You can Google that.
Yeah, no, that was part of the stories. Yeah,
a lot of people decided they want to live their truth this week.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was involved with a lot of underage boys coming to the arcade, wanted to play games, but he obviously offered them something because they ran out of coins.
He said, "You
Why
want some
are you
for the
laughing,
kid?"
man?
This is not a
not
funny
funny.
thing,
This
man.
is
Come
not
on,
funny,
come on,
Lemon.
come on.
This ain't
It
Lemon.
sounds
This ain't
funny. I wanna pee on you.
No.
Oh my God!
It's
No,
way
no.
worse than that, bro.
Buddy, I can't.
So
I can't.
It's way worse.
I'm
It's way
sorry.
worse. It's way worse.
he apologized for it, but and that's the situation, right? And yes, there's a lot of people in the Smash community. There's a lot of at least 5 people in the Smash community have been accused of one thing or another. Nero being one of the best Smash players in the world. One of the guys said he said he came out. He came out, said I can't keep living a lie, and they had sexual relations, him and that little boy at that time, and he couldn't lie no more. And Nero paid him off to keep quiet, and then he just said he can't deal with it. And Nero apologized, and they pretty much fired him, and he went on his brother's Discord server and say I'm done, and he closing curtains. He deleted his Twitter account and everything. And the woman you're talking about Senpai.
Yeah.
And she supposedly had some sort of, it may not have been intercourse, but some sort of sexual thing with that little boy. But
a 14-year-old boy, and that boy looked like he was younger than 14. The way he was acting. Did you see the videos?
I mean, she has a boyfriend, so I'm not sure how that worked out. But I just know that
Metal pedal.
I just know that she denied the allegations, so I'm not sure how far that went, but I do know that when there's smoke, there's fire. So something happened. I mean,
just gave him a blowjob.
Stop it live. No, live.
Yo, for real,
live.
for real, for real.
Live. I will mute you if you say something stupid like that again. Stop.
I would say something had to happen for him to come out and say something. I don't know how far it went, but some of the other Smash players, top known players, did come out and say something. Now, I'm not a fan of Leffen. I don't like him. He is straight. I'm not going to call him trash, but he is very toxic in the Smash community, in my opinion.
What, the 14-year-old?
No. Leffen is a Smash player. He's one of the top players. And he commented, because a lot of people seen stuff and said, yeah, they're corroborating what they think happened, but a lot of it is what they think happened. They didn't actually see it happen. But again, that's not saying it didn't happen. And one thing I wanted to say is I heard a comment from Leffen, and this is what bothers me. He said, first of all, you should always believe the victim going off. I have a problem with that. Because no, you should not ever believe something just because somebody said it happened. You should definitely investigate for sure. But there's plenty and too many accounts of people getting accused of things they actually did not do and sitting in jail right now.
Innocent until proven guilty is supposed to be that way.
So no, you should not just automatically believe it just because they said it happened.
Right.
But you definitely should investigate. And that just goes to show that in the in the fighting game community, the FGC, and many others, that there's not enough security or things put in place to safeguard minors. Like, what the heck is a minor doing at a party when there's alcohol? A 14-year-old. You got your 14-year-old out in another state doing a Smash tournament.
The girl was 16.
No, but I'm speaking in general.
She was 15, but she lied about her age. Yeah, that's what that was.
I'm not talking about that in particular. I'm saying they do this on a regular.
Yeah.
He's talking about ones that are known to be that age and are still in there.
Yes, this is the actual. This is what they do. Like, it's not just one situation. This is just a normal thing. They be at a conference for a tournament or something, and then they go to the hotel and they have a little party. It happens all the time. There's not enough safeguards for children under age. I mean, I have not experienced anything like that, but just seeing some of my friends who have, it's a normal thing. And some of it is pressure because you dealing with a big name person and you don't want to hurt them because you care about it, or I won't say you, but the person involved, right? They don't want them. One person was allegedly accused of rape, which is huge. He didn't deny that they, had sex. So he just didn't. He said that, they both was drunk and, it was consensual. We don't know, but the accusation, since everybody wants to live their truth this week, that's huge. Does this infect the fighting game community? Huge. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
This is a huge thing, not just in the Smash community, but just the fact that the CEO, the guy in charge, was also involved in this stuff. Think about it. He's not a one-off. Now, I would say, far as Capcom and things like that, I think it's more like I won't say, in my opinion, I think they're kind of glad it happened. Not because company, I'm just saying my opinion, Capcom's view. I'm saying, yes, they might be sensitive to the problem, but I also think they're looking at it a business sense. Is they technically don't have nothing to show right now, so they're drawing back for their own business reasons on top of that, and kind of using this as leverage to say, yeah, this is not going down. Far as EVO not happening, you can't necessarily say it can happen anyway. We're in a different environment right now. I didn't even understand how it's going to work. And even if we wasn't in this environment, if this came out and we wasn't in this pandemic situation, how can you hold a venue when you don't have safeguards for these young kids?
Right.
How can you and represent the gaming community as a whole? We supposed to be coming together, yet it's almost like it's being perverted to take advantage of people. And that's the wrong kind of perception you want, because then you're not going to get the paid advertisements, or what do they call it when you get sponsors?
Yeah.
You lose your
Endorsements,
your endorsements and your sponsors. You lose a lot. Those businesses, those like
They ain't gonna want to touch that.
no,
They don't want their name affiliated with that.
especially if there is someone who's accused. I mean, think about it. Nero is one of the top dudes, man.
Mm-hmm.
For him to get, I mean, they immediately shut him down. They immediately distanced themselves. They was not playing.
Ain't playing with their money.
They is not playing. And it's not just Smash community. These guys that get these players, this is a league. This is a straight up sponsored league. Just like the football or baseball or any of that stuff. These are players that they get on their roster, and if something happens, they got to get rid of them quick, because that hurts their bottom line. Not just Smash, that goes for any other game. NRG does more than just fighting games. They do Yu-Gi-Oh! They do everything. And for their company image to get tarnished, because of, that's just one. And Nero's not a one-off. Again, that's not a one-off. And yes, it happened years ago. But this is my final point on this part, is I don't care about them apologizing, because that's not taken away from anything. You admitting guilt, that means you need to suffer consequences just like anybody else.
Facts.
Now, let me ask you this though, PK. I gotta ask you this, because I can, I'll wait till the very end of my point of view. But what about
I just feel like just because you're a quote unquote celebrity should not make you immune to getting prosecuted just like anybody else.
Okay, so no, let me ask you this question about the one gentleman, like, because everybody else seems to be pretty much like substantially guilty until from the allegations. I can't say that this is true or not.
Yeah,
Even though,
everything's alleged unless they admitted it.
the old girl, nah, bruh.
Senpai?
Yeah, nah, bruh. That I seen the video. That was dirty. That was foul. You seen that? She pointing at the camera to tell little dude, stop trying to kiss me because the camera was right there. That she's guilty as fuck. Now the one dude in particular is the one that I feel that I actually feel bad for him, even though he was stupid.
You talking about D-Ron?
Katero, I think that's the one that admitted to having the relationship with the underage girl.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him, but he was stupid because he continued to let it go after he knew that the girl was underage. Because, well, I'll just go ahead and just make my point, and then I'll let you go ahead and finish on this. I've seen a million times, not one, but it's not been a million, but countless times. I can even just from my personal experience, me being at a frat party. Me being a frat party, college football guys, we out here, we partying, we get it, and then one of the homegirls, they bring a crew of girls in. I see somebody so here talking to somebody. Whatever happens is happening. I don't know. It's none of my business. But then I remember from my personal experience, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to this girl, you know what I'm saying? She looked right, she looks good. Talking to her, we exchanged numbers. This is how I'll show you how long this was ago. You know what I'm saying? We wrote down a number. You know what I'm saying? So I put the number in my pager. I'm thinking like, I'm gonna hit this girl up when I come from this party. Well, old girl just so happens to let me know that this girl was underage. And so at that point, I'm like, what? What the hell are you bringing somebody in here to this place where it's supposed to be 21 and up? How old is she? Girl was 16. My whole life could have been completely changed, altered. Because old girl didn't say her age to nobody, and at that time, people drinking, we over here partying, we over here having a good time. I'm not here to ask. I'm over here saying like, look, she looks grown, she looks this way, and she's not telling anybody what her actual age is. And then when the situation would have came about, let's just say that things would have happened the way that things normally happen. My whole life could have been completely just changed because of that. The one thing about that guy is that the one thing I think about that guy is that he knew that girl was young. He was way in the wrong. But what about this situation when there are people that invite people into parties that are younger and nobody knows what the age limit is, and then they get caught up into situations like that? That's where the situation is really sticky. And then, I mean, that can go for both ways.
Let's just take a step back and look at a high level. I think in that situation, that should never have happened to her, period.
No.
All right?
Right.
But let's take a step back.
Right.
Before she even got to that situation, how does she get in a situation where she's in a room where there's alcohol being distributed? What I'm saying is, as a tournament organizer, you should have safeguards put in place to identify people under 18 and 21 with some kind of way, just like you walk into a Six Flags or Disney, they stamp your hand, they do something that lights up in the dark that lets you know what age limit this person is. Even when you go to I'm not saying you go to a club, but you know how sometimes when you go in a club, they go in, they tag you. So they know what you paying for, where you at, and what parts you can go in, and what you can be allowed in and what you can't. You can't just walk in VIP just because you walked into the club. Let's be real. They have ways to identify where you're supposed to be. So as a tournament organizer, you should always have that safeguard put in place, especially for young kids. There's no reason why this person should have ended up in a situation where they're in a room where there is alcohol.
Absolutely, or in a room with nothing but adults like that. That's the thing. Like me and the relationship that I had with the homie, with the homegirl. Like I'm like you gonna tell me this now? Like I mean, like, thank God nothing didn't go down, but it's just the fact that why would you even bring that person in there? Well, no, it's just a friend of a friend or whatever. No, you fucked up, and
Right.
that relationship was
I'm
over.
agreeing with you.
Right.
And like I said,
Yeah,
this is all
those
wrong.
type of things happens. All types of
But
things. Yeah, but I mean, not only with women, but not with men, but also with women too. And then people are losing their freedoms or getting labeled as sex offenders for something because of people lying. At first when I was reading the stuff about that guy with that younger girl, I was kind of like, well, I got to know what all happened. But then he admitted that like he knew that girl was underage, and then that was it right there. I was like, oh, you messed up. You were just weak minded. That was silly. That was just silly. You knew better than that. You're a grown ass man. He's what, like 28, 29 years old?
and
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, but at the same time, that's one story.
Yeah, no, I get
Do
that.
you know
I get that. Yes.
and when you say there's so many,
Yeah.
and what I'm getting at is how after all these years, I mean, this is just now coming out. This stuff happened a while ago,
right?
Years, but it's been happening for years too. And that's my point. Is now you gotten to the point where you guys are this big, and you haven't even gotten to the point where you have structurally this is 2020. And you have not structurally put together enough safeguards for these kids.
That is like they really didn't know what was going on. I really don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No, okay. It's not just that they didn't know, they allowed it. That is the problem.
Exactly my point. They did know and they allowed it.
They allowed it
because
to
you
happen.
can't say you didn't know. That's impossible.
And my thing is, because they allowed it, that brings up a lot of questions. And because it brings up these many questions, the EVO should be shut down. Not just because of these stories, but because of all the ones that you haven't read about. There's more stories being reported. We just haven't read about them because they're not big names. See, Senpai and Nero, those are big names. But what about the other members who are not that big, who's been involved in these things that you might not have read because they're not big names? That's what I'm getting at. So it's huge, and I'm not saying EVO will be canceled forever, but at the same time, before you can bring anything like this back, you have to do a reconstruction, and that's just not EVO. We're talking about the entire fighting game community, any of the venues, any of the venues. I mean, let's just take it from this point. I know it's sad, and I know I'm not trying to bring rain on the party, but it was like a year or so ago, a guy went to a Madden tournament in Florida. He lost, got upset, went to Walmart, bought a gun, and came back and shot everybody at the Madden tournament in Florida. He didn't even live.
Forgot about that.
He didn't even live in Florida. Okay, but the point is, when that happened, they put in safeguards to not allow no one in with weapons. Why is it that we don't have these same safeguards, knowing that this kind of thing happens? Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's no reason for not doing it unless you allowing it, because again, the CEO, even though the story that came out happened years ago, who says he's not doing it now? This ain't his first time. Come on. Just like it's not a lot of other people's first time. It's not a one-off. This is a behavioral thing. And I'm upset about it because, I like these guys. I'm entertaining these guys. I followed them. I paid attention, and it's really sad because you hurting everybody by taking advantage of other people. I'm not really understanding it myself because I could never see myself doing anything like that. But I understand people are in different situations dealing with different things, but they also need to have the safeguards for these kids, man. They need to be able to change something. Even Zero is a retired #1 Smash player, came out and said the same thing. The minors need to be protected. Security needs to be mandatory, and stronger, and rules have to be in place to prevent unsupervised interactions. Period. That's period. That's things that you would think should be automatic. You would think that should be automatic. Is not. Why do we have to have this conversation? Why do we have to literally say in 2020 it is not automatic to have mandatory security and rules to prevent unsupervised interaction with kids? We got to have this conversation? Really?
It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. Do anybody else want to touch on this before
Yeah, I
we get
do.
out of here? Okay, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
do. Yo, I feel like I always think I was like the perfect age to get like, to be into gaming and stuff like that. Because I remember I was like 15, 16. I used to have to take the subway to get to school, so I would have to wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning for like an hour-long trip. Either way. So you start traveling on the subway a lot. So you start traveling the city a lot. This is New York City where I'm from. And so, and if you're from New York around a certain time period, like I was, you've heard of, and even if not, you've heard of Chinatown Fair. Great arcade. It's been closed down. They moved it elsewhere under a different name and a different kind of vibe. But it was like world renowned, but it's like a dive bar, but an arcade. Just look it up. You've seen pictures of it at very least. And when I was 15, 16, 17, at night you go down there in Chinatown, Manhattan, and you go in this arcade. And this was the early days of the fighting game community as we kind of know it today, in terms of at least around the East Coast, in like the New York's city area, right? West Coast had their own vibe, and those two coasts were like the building blocks of the fighting game community as we know it today. Not that other parts of the country, this is just US centric I'm talking about here, that there wasn't other groups to bring that together. But I remember going to Chinatown Fair, and there was all types of different people, and some weird, let's say, okay, I'm not gonna put too much of a name on it, but some weirdos, man, some really creepy dudes that you wouldn't even want to imagine what they were doing. But now you don't have to imagine. The truth is coming out about what certain people were doing, and it was weird vibes that you wouldn't want to be around certain people. You didn't go there alone, but if you did, you have to be like known or regular. What's going on, who to hang out with, whatever. And as it becomes a community and bigger, then apparently, there's these people with disingenuous motives out there preying on people, not just of the young, but just whatever. And apparently this is a way bigger problem than people ever wanted to put attention to, just in general, maybe in society in general. And you were talking about games, but this has happened in all types of things. But to just bring it down to gaming, like, man, the security thing, because everyone was all like a point of view camaraderie, like you're playing games, you're competing, all of that. And I don't think they were thinking about it in that way. Not to make excuses for it, but that's not right after all this time that there wasn't security. I agree fully with PK. And it's just how things were, and people just crooked, or
Sorry
what I'm
to
saying?
interrupt. There's a question in the chat, so I just want to point that out. But you can finish your point. I just want to make sure we address
Especially if
that.
you're talking about 14 to 18 and you get quite a bit of freedom. Exactly. That was around the time when I was getting freedom, and I was going down to Chinatown Fair, to this arcade. And I was at that age. Exactly. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make, that yes, that was what was going on. And some people just didn't have that street smarts to learn. And there's other folks out there to prey on these kind of people who didn't figure out what was going on. And there's this, and
Phantom
I saw it
asked a
firsthand.
question. He asked, I have a question. No parents go with these minors during these events,
I answered to
tournaments.
Some do,
I
some don't.
answered
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm like, yeah, some do, some don't. I also said that if those tournaments are mostly within that state, like because a lot of those tournaments is like in California, other places like that, then if those kids are in that state, all you got to do is just take a bus or a transit to that area, and most of the time if they can watch their kid through like a Facebook or a Facebook Live or Periscope or something like that, they think that their kids is okay. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another factor because most of those EVO things are within the same state, and a lot of those people aren't from different locations.
Yeah, that's the local scene, the
Yeah,
local championships. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
but basically, I was saying, there's these creepers out there, and some folks didn't understand, didn't have that street smarts or whatever. So basically, I remember seeing a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of people, different types of people too. Not all bad, but not all good either. And some, as we know now, the worst kind. And it was a thing where I don't think a lot of people were noticing, and so what PK said about the security, it just didn't come to mind. But there's been events recently that happened, like the Madden thing that he mentioned. I totally forgot about that, but that just goes to show how quickly even I forgot about it. That you would have thought the lesson would have been learned in general, but only for the Madden things where no weapons would be brought in. But it just goes to show until something happens that's horrible, people don't even perceive it or even consider or even think about it, that it's a possible problem. They gotta wait till something bad happens to do something about it. It's unfortunate that's that way things are not, and a lot of people have been hurt and have been mistreated and worse behind that. That made the hole for these things to happen, for these cretins to get through and do the horrible things they're doing. But a lot of other people had to know and had to co-sign it to allow that to happen too.
Yeah, no,
True that. True
totally
that.
agree.
Because, like I said, they're big names.
Yes.
A lot of them are big names, and they probably don't want to hurt them because their career go to toilet, and that's probably what they feel pressured.
Exactly.
Well, these people are also making money off of that too. 108,
Exactly.
Do you got anything you want to say on this before we get ready to get out of here?
Nope. You know how I feel about pedophiles. I don't even want to say what I'm gonna say.
I know how you feel about it. So
PK said enough. I'm good.
Yeah, no,
I don't like pedophiles.
PK said totally enough. My only point on this is that it needs to be cleansed, it needs to be fixed. It's a damn shame that even in 2020 that we still have to have children, and I mean that's just life and reality. We got sex trade, we got all these other things, and then that gaming is a hub to where all of us are supposed to be. It's supposed to be a getaway, an escape, and for some of us, it's actually a trap. And for the people that's an insomniac, that all those stories, which is absolutely incredible.
Disgusting.
For also the stuff that's with the crunch and all of that, what you heard from Naughty Dog, and then just everything as a whole. It's not all about a woke culture. It's about a culture of people just expressing themselves and saying, "Damn, pay attention to us. We are struggling. We are going through this." You may just think about just as about gaming, but it's way more and a lot more serious than that. So like when we can look at the stuff with Epstein and for Bill Cosby and for the dude that was that was doing all the movies that got caught up and he's in prison now. All of that stuff is just the same thing as what goes on to everyday life at jobs and people that work and do stuff with gaming. Men and women both get harassed, and it's a sad situation. And I'm not mad at the people that stood up. I just don't want people to be destroyed by lies. So that's my only thing. And so
Yes.
yeah, that's the only problem that I have with it. Like the whole Angry Joe situation. I don't know if that woman is lied, but I know that he didn't assault her. He just was an asshole to her.
Exactly.
And
Yeah, we were
so
talking about that before.
yeah, so that's the thing. That's the difference between that thin line for when you see the extreme of when a grown ass woman take advantage of a 14-year-old boy to a situation where a woman doesn't put out, and then she gets her shit thrown out because she didn't tell the truth about her having a boyfriend. There is there's a gap between there, and not everything is black and white as some people try to make it be. So anyway, we better get the hell out of here. We're 3 hours. We're 3 hours and 30 minutes in.
Emmanuel asked a question. How come it seemed like K Mega be censoring 108?
What? Well, 108 didn't want to have anything to say on that. He thought you said enough.
Yeah, I just asked him. Yeah, like I said.
No. He didn't do that. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. He just said he didn't want to talk about
it. I feel a certain way about stuff like that, and people ain't gonna like my non-political response.
Right. Like, so
I think we can all imagine.
PK said exactly how I feel.
Right.
I just wouldn't have said it like PK.
I don't know. I don't know where you were at, Manuel. I just asked him, "What do you think?" And he says, "I don't want to talk about it." So, all right. So anyway, let's get the hell out of here, man. 108. Congratulations on the 1,000. Where can they find you at, brother?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Find me at 108 Dragon TV on everything, including TikTok, which I started today. And
TikTok.
I will be dropping more content, man, and I will be giving y'all new videos. People keep asking me about the studio updates. A lot of work being done, and y'all gonna see that. Y'all gonna see it, man. Smoke and mirrors. We're gonna clear all that out, yeah, and I'm gonna open them doors to y'all. Let y'all get that walkthrough. Facts.
Nice. Can't wait. All right, PK, thank you for your expertise. I know that you wanted to give us a little thing about your games. You know what I think about doing is just trying to do a little simple podcast, maybe during the week, just to see what everybody want to talk about, and I just sit back and listen and observe. So I might do that. I think that might be kind of cool, just to throw that out there, just for people that want to talk about certain other things.
Just to shoot the shit, and if
just to shoot the
topic
shit.
come out like.
Yeah, just like what we do with GRG Extra. So, PK, where can they find you at, man? Don't forget that we can sit there and we can do that anytime. I'm off right now, so you might as well take advantage of it. So, where can they find you at, brother?
They can find me at PKX Live on Twitter and here every Friday at GRG. And hopefully soon in the Dragon's Den with my other two brothers, we're gonna do a daggone
next
thing
month,
as well.
son. I'm trying to get it done next month.
So yeah, we got some projects coming, so we will let you know as they come down the pipe. And don't forget the GRG merch. Don't forget about that. Be part of the family.
Be part of the family, yes. Join us, man, and help support, because, like I said, this proceed goes to everybody. It's not just me, because without the team, then there would be no GRG. That's real talk. And without you guys, there would be no GRG. So, all right, and then last but not least, Six Slayer. What's going on with you, bro?
Yo, what's up, homie? What's up? So you can find me Six Slayer on all them social network platforms and everywhere great games are played. You'll find me right here every week on GRG. And in a month's time, that Dragon's Den podcast finally is coming.
Lamb's Den?
Dragon's Den. What is it? Is my mic
It won't
off?
be the pulled pork den.
No.
It might.
Oh, wow.
It might.
Folks, you guys will never learn about what that's
It
about.
might.
Inside jokes. Never
Juicy
find out
chicken
about that
Den. I don't know. We gonna see. All right, go ahead, Slayer.
But yeah, man, in a month's time, finally, Dragon's Den podcast. Look out, we coming.
All right, man, good deal. All right, good shit. Like I said, I had one more thing to say before I got out of here, and that was going to be talking about the part where we were talking about gamings with budgets. The prices of games. Let me just go through this real quick. It's the top 15 games that the budget wise, and I'm gonna go start with 15. 15 was Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Menace, which was $81 million to make. The Witcher 3, which was which was also $81 million to make. Red Dead Redemption, the first one, was $90 million to make.
Wow, back then, wow.
Deadpool, the Deadpool game, was $100 million to make.
That trash?
What? Grand Theft Auto 4 was 100 and where is that at? Where is it at? I'm looking for it right now. It was 100. It was 14. Come on. All right. Well, it's up there. I can't see they didn't label the price. I mean the number of it, which was really weird. Okay, whatever. So we're just gonna go up a little bit further. To Max Payne 3, which was, let's see, 105 million.
Lord.
Final Fantasy VII, the original, was 114 million back in 1996. Halo 2, $120 million budget. Dead Space.
Made that back in the first day.
And people wonder why EA said close them goddamn doors. 120 million for the first Dead Space. For Dead Space, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, 125 million. Destiny, $140 million budget. The first Destiny, not the rest of them, just the first. Star Citizen. We talked about this just a couple of months ago. At this time, when they dropped this article, that was last year. We talked about that their budget is over 300 and some million, but at this article, it was 180 million at that time of November of last year. Star Wars: The Old Republic was $200 million. We're talking about an X1 game, an Xbox OG game. And Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was $250 million budget, had a $250 million budget. And of course, number one was Grand Theft Auto 5, which had a $265 million budget. And they got back $1 billion within 3 days. Now, the whole point that I said while I was bringing this point for an old article that was in 2019, for people that keep on complaining about the $70 aspects, when you look at a game like The Last of Us and other games like that, trust me, those were in the same realm. Halo 5 was somewhere in the same realm. They just don't report those numbers. So if you want these type of games to come out, of course these games are going to be more expensive. I mean, it's just the reality of anything. I mean, you look at TVs are at the same price of what they used to be 40 years ago. So cars, anything. So anyway, all right, let me get the hell out of here. Everybody have a good one. We're still in the pandemic, so no dance off, pants off. We're just doing some hunching. So
wow.
We're only doing hunching. So anyway, we out.
The longest GRG ever.
No, we had a 4 hour GRG,
but it's still close. But it's good
close.
one though.
We out, peace. We out.
It's a good episode though.
Why not me?